Hello, how's it going? I am here. Are you here? I think you're here. I think that we're both here. Wow. Wow, amazing. Wow, my hair is so fucking ridiculous right now. What's up, everybody? How we doing today? What is up with the YouTube chat? We've got Beth in there. There's Speedy Shimeji who says, I'm slapping the clock, begging time to go faster. Oh, baby, that's kinky. Celebrity guest, what's up? There's Paul Hack. Hey, Raven. What's up, Near? I don't know if it'll get passed because, wow, I can imagine the Floridians not being happy about the death penalty for that. Wait, what's going on with the death penalty in Florida? What? What's up, EB the Purple? Hello. Tea Leaves. We got Darkness Productions. The only Floridians the government cares about the input of are the ones who would be happy with the death penalty. I mean, that's probably fair. I think that's probably fair. There we go. We got the hair. Got the hair on this side. We're trying this out for a while. We're going to see how that goes with the hair on the other side. It's heavy enough to just kind of stay. What's up? And then also the website chat, which I definitely have open already. Oh, there was a tier 2 sub before we even started. Thank you so much, Spider. Got the renew on your dark green, you know? You like the dark green. Understandable. I'll have to keep that in mind before I change the colors anytime soon. That's 1/10 of the stream goal. Thank you. Okay, get everything back in order. Green time. What's up, A Strider? Prosy Rosie. Drums. Hello. There's Mersh. There's Slaps Hungry Bears. Hello. Willow Oak and Timarinia. Gayfish. You're starting to look a little swole. Oh, is there actually a discernible difference? Like, I thought that there was. I took some pictures, you know, those bathroom mirror pictures. And I thought that there was a difference, but then I actually collaged the two pictures next to each other in the photo app, and it seemed like there wasn't any actual tangible difference once I put them side by side like that. So good bicep definition. Ugh. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing tank tops now. I need more tank tops. Donate to the stream so that Luxander can get more muscle tops. I got some more sports bras, so there you go. Yeah, Luxander tanky arc. Anyway, and also Baphomet is here. Hello to you too, and Spirit, welcome. I tried to catch as many people as I could. Can't always get them all. Is that the Gaston diet? No one. I feel like that's like Jaws level, like, suspense in music, you know? Since I started working out and making gains, the gender euphoria is joyous. Yes, A Strider. Fuck yes. Yeah, I appreciate that you all have the frame of reference to be able to tell me that there's a difference. Hello, Z Demoness. Demoness, you're here for the right stream. You know, it's gonna be, we always chill for a while before we start talking about the news, but the demons, we're in the news. I have Blow High. That's always good, Bobby. I have Stitch. He's just off screen, actually. I kind of wanted him to be on screen, but then there's not very much of the mushrooms visible. That's the problem. I just want to move this thing. No. Okay. It's not perfect, but this is my enjoyable little thing. Oh, you want to see the Stitch? Stitch. The vibe is earthy. Yeah, that's the idea, I guess, is kind of... I'm working my way up to earning, quote-unquote, the ability to get... Oh man, I feel like I want to show you guys something, because I don't know that it was well appreciated, and I need you to see it. DeSantis follows Demon Mama now? Oh no. It's not perfect, but it's mine. True! Tim Minchin reference. That song makes me fucking cry. That song makes me cry, like, every time. It's, which one is it? It's particularly the one where he's talking about his body. This is my body and I live in it. It's 31 and 6 months old. It's changed a lot since it was new. It's done stuff it wasn't meant to do. I often try to fill it up with wine. And the weirdest thing about it is I spend so much time hating it, but it never says a bad word about me. And I just don't know why that makes me cry every time. I love my body. I don't even feel like I've had a historically bad relationship with my body, but it still just fucking gets me. Anyway, yeah, we do nature background now. Maybe let's finalize the fairy vibes. Ugh. gotta get my lights set up. Oh, you know what? This is good to have. These are gonna be good to have for this stream. His new song Aeroplane has the same effect. Oh, which one was that? I thought I listened to that. Is it about cheating on his wife? Like, I feel like a lot of his music lately is about him cheating on his wife. Hello, Shade. Welcome in. Anyway, yeah, so I feel like the, you know, yellowish light kind of, I feel like the yellow kind of brings the vibes in. My yellow light brings all the boys to the yard. And they're like, it's better than yours. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that the vibes are better. It's a little bit of a difference. Are the boys moths? What moth boys? Where are the moth boys? I do have some wall tapestries on one of my lists that has, like, moths on it. I will get it eventually. Oh, because the light brings the boys to the yard. Oh, yeah. Are the boys moths because the light brings the boys to the yard? Yes. Mothmen. I feel like I've heard of Ponderful before. Why have I heard of Ponderful, you guys? Why do I know this name? Oh, yeah. I watched one of her videos recently, and it was really good. And I subscribed to her, and she's wonderful. She does autism videos. Yeah, she did a video responding to gender criticals, which I watched. So yeah, that's cool. I think that she's great. She is cis, but she does articulate as a cis person really well to a cis audience. That is what she's pretty good at it. GC's an autism vid, yeah. Well, she has like multiple videos addressing the TERF space, actually. Like, she has a video. The one that I watched was Gender Critical is not feminist, and here's why. And then here's another video more recently, Gender Criticals don't understand female-only spaces. And then more recently, Gender Criticals and autism. So she's made like 3 videos directly addressing gender critical / TERF people. Yup. So I watched her oldest video on the subject. Backstreet Boys, Backstreet Men. All right. We have fun. My hair tie is falling apart already. Anyhow, we're going to take a little sippy sip. Get a little sippy sip of water. So how's the start of everybody's week going? I feel like the start of my week is going great. I don't have anything to complain about. I'm just doing my thing. Just working out. Getting strong. Peace was never an option. True, Silent, true. I feel like the weather has been pretty good in my region of the US recently. It's starting to get warmer. The trees are actually starting to like make leaf happen. So now that we're in climate change zone, like in my region, it has a tendency to do like, you know, we make jokes about like, what about second winter? Because it gets warm and then it fucking snows again. And it goes on for a while. And so it kind of seems like our plants are adapting to this by making spring happen significantly later. And that's kind of a bummer. It kind of sucks. So it's like the grass started turning green a few weeks ago, but the trees didn't start leafing up until like the, you know, really this past few days that I've noticed. I've still been sick since last stream. No. Symptoms suck, but the bed rest is nice. Well, take care of yourself. Rest up as much as you can. Make sure you take your COVID tests. If it is COVID, you need to like rest afterward a lot. Like you gotta try to be chill for as long as possible. Oh God, growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s was miserable because everybody was like, no, boy bands are gay. You can't like them. And I'm just like, okay, please just acknowledge that Backstreet's Back is a fucking banger for like 2 seconds. Yeah. They were poppy. They were good. It was bumpin'. I think I personally listened to NSYNC a little bit more, but I definitely had CDs for both of them. I do know who Anthony Padilla is. Yes, I've watched like a grand total of 2 videos from him. Stuck with a shitty dorm because the school's housing system is transphobic? No. Transphobia sucks and is very unbased, and I am hoping that we can eventually live in a world where we deal with less of it. That's the fingers crossed. Texas gets 3 springs because winter used to not really hit us that hard. Now the cold snaps roll in and reset spring. Ugh. What's up, Grady HD? I am both a demon and an imp, but I don't even think of myself as trans, agender, but in a way of being apathetic about my perceived gender, and masc and femme presentation alike. Yeah, that non-binary feel. I know how it goes. Artists that had the lyrics in the CD booklet were blessed. Right. There was not really the ability to look it up on the internet. I remember like sitting in the backseat of my mom's car, like flipping through those little books and looking at the art and stuff. Use non-binary, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, goodness. Green tea, honey, and chicken noodle soup. That sounds wild. Green tea, honey, and chicken noodle soup. I guess I just am having a hard time imagining how those flavors would go together. But then again, I don't really like green tea, so that might be throwing... And I don't really like honey either. I came to that terrible realization recently that I don't know if I like honey. Chicken honey noodle green soup. My 1X CD booklet was my pride and joy in 6th grade. Truly, the nostalgia. Oh gosh. Yeah, I watched some like crash course videos at the start of the week. I'm about to start learning. I'm gonna get like a refresher on world history. Because I figured I'm gonna like force my teenage siblings to watch these videos to learn some stuff. So I might as well do it too. Honey is good for everything. I don't know. Is it something about the honey that you get in the Midwest that it fucking doesn't taste good? Get some lavender honey. I don't think I've ever had lavender honey. I might have to try that. I've tried, you know, different flavors of honey before. Aren't invertebrates called non-bony? Got him. How about that Indus River Valley civilization, though? Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the first videos on the Crash Course playlist. Lavender honey is high estrogen. It would be like phytoestrogens, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be, it would not be like animal estrogens. Fuck yes. I love the Indus River Valley civilization. It's like, what? That's a great thing to just be really, to like have a hard on for. Okay, I don't really need this page open. Let me get my shit together. Get my shit together. It's absolutely a special interest of mine. That's cool. They should make up a better name than Indus River Valley Civilization. I kind of like it. I like it. Eat a steak covered in soy and lavender honey. You get all the hormones. And yes, this is science. I know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Grady HD, for your expertise. We appreciate it. Manuka honey for herbal teas is really good but expensive because of its medicinal propolis content. It sounds like placeholder name 1 civilization. Civilization placeholder name 1. Lavender is a significant phytoestrogen and homologue to mammal estrogen chemically. They don't affect the body. Like, okay, so the chemicals, like, look kind of similar when you put them next to each other in, like, when you do one of those cute little chemical graphs. But phytoestrogens don't do anything to the human body. Like, it's, you know where you do get estrogen from is milk, because that has, like, actual estrogens in it, like in mammal estrogens. Phytoestrogens don't affect your body like that, y'all. Stop killing the dreams of all the baby transes. That's why I only drink milk. Yeah, if you're trying to feminize yourself, you should actually drink a fuck ton of milk and eat meat. Also, although what? Not milk, mulk. Specifically mulk. Milk. It's the same reason plant diseases... Did you mean to say it's the same reason plant diseases don't affect us? Drums? Pilk. Yeah, I've never had pilk. I don't imagine it would be good. Pepsi milk? It's like half and half, right? It's 50%. Propolis is an anti-inflammatory substance that bees produce in their saliva. I know that it's supposed to be good for your immune system. I just don't like the taste. Lavender is magic. Honey is magic. Biggest crops around here are wheat, flax, and canola. But there's a lot of lavender around too. I kind of would love to grow lavender, but it is for sure an outside plant. It's one of those ones that needs a lot of sunlight, and I don't have the ability to provide enough light to keep true desert plants going very well. Like, I do still live in, like, a crummy little apartment thing, and, like, I don't have the ability to plant things outside. Putting phytoplankton in my milk to turn all the estrogens into phytoestrogens. True. I just found out, I found out about Pilk from Shammy, and I was not prepared for that tweet. I didn't see the tweet that you're talking about, but I found out about Pilk from the Mythical Kitchen channel. Or no. Was it Mythical? It was either Mythical Kitchen channel or Good Mythical Morning. I can't remember which one. Anyhow. I drank half a gallon of milk a day for a while, and I have no big booba milkers. That's so much milk, yo. I feel like you'd be so constipated. Carl Pilkington. I don't know how to imagine that person. Sweetie Gnome keeps bugs and keeps plants specifically for bugs, like lettuce for the isopods. I guess I just assumed that bug people are also plant people. I am a plant person. I have like 30 plants. Like, I'd have to go count them, but I have like 30 plants. They're just not like desert plants. I just can't, I know that I can't keep lavender alive. Speaking of phytoplankton, have y'all seen the proposals for big tanks of algae as, quote, an alternative for urban trees? I have seen those. It's like a glass box. Hold on, let's look it up. Let's look it up together. Let's keep our attention engaged by looking at these algae tank street. I mean, like, what? How do you... Like, algae tree alternatives? Okay, yeah. Okay, that got me where I wanted to be. So there's these things that some places are, I guess, trying out, like liquid trees trending on the internet. reintroducing algae alternative concept for cities. So it's like you put like algae in a glass box, and the idea is, I think, that they will be filtering carbon dioxide and providing oxygen in dense urban areas. They're called liquid trees, colloquially, and it's just a tank filled with water and green algae to supposedly help fight pollution. And yeah, I mean, I think that part of the reason why trees work so well is that they're a long-term storage solution here. And this is like algae die, and you're gonna need to take them out of there, and and then we have to destroy them. How many would they need to install in order for it to actually work? Yeah, I don't actually know what the comparison is, and I'm not even gonna try to touch that issue. I'm not gonna like touch the issue of whether or not this is gonna consume more or less light than a tree. I mostly care about that whole like long-term versus short-term thing. The water will get gross. It's going to require additional water to be in it. Like if it's exposed to the air, because it would need to be, like there is going to have to be some kind of filtration system up top happening here where like the glass is not showing you. So there's like probably a little light in there and a filter system where it's exposing to the air so that it's aerating and oxygenating the water, and then also letting out the carbon dioxide. So the water is going to evaporate. It's going to need to have water pumped to it, which the tree does not need. Imagine someone crashing their car into this thing, you know? It feels kind of dystopian, really. I guess it sort of is. It's like we have taken something natural and made it really unnatural. Why is it pronounced algae and not all gays? These are the important questions, Quantum Cactus. Algae is pretty good at making oxygen. Yeah, I just think that resource-wise and like long-term viability-wise, and like how much, like, if they're producing oxygen, great. It's the taking carbon dioxide out of the environment thing. Like if it's supposed to be helping pollution, they're a bunch of tiny little organisms, right? I mean, like it's a type of plant, but it's like an organism. So if they die and you need to get them out of there, and then you dispose of the algae, if you burn them, that's carbon dioxide. Like, are you gonna compost them? What's the deal here? Worse in every way, I think, truly. I just wish that, there are situations like this area in this photo, actually, where, like, whoa. I want the picture to be bigger. Let me see the picture. Okay, this is bigger. This tree in the background here, when that tree dies, that is an irreplaceable tree because of all of this remaining infrastructure around here and the fact that there's a bunch of roots underneath there. Like that tree, like unless you clear out this section of road and make the road half as wide and like the sidewalk half as wide and clear that whole area out and make it ground again, you're not going to be able to replace that tree. And once it's gone, it's going to be gone. Yeah, I know that it wasn't very obvious in the zoomed out version that there was this sick, awesome tree back here. But then same thing with this tree here, it's starting to push up the cobblestones with its roots. And like when that tree eventually needs to be cut down, because they do need to be cut down eventually, that tree is going to be hard to replace. So I can see why we're heading toward this type of more compartmentalized option. But I agree. I think it's kind of like I would rather see different changes happen that just enable there to be more trees. Like trees are also important in a climate change sense because they cool the area around them both through their shade and through the evaporative cooling effect. So it would just be better all around if we had more areas that are like just some grass and ground and then tree. Or maybe not grass exactly, maybe just like some other low-lying hardy plant that people could walk on and it would be fine, like creeping thyme or something like that, It's probably gonna make more pollution in the process of maintaining it than it absorbs. Truly, yeah, exactly. There's fish that'll eat the algae, maybe keep the algae in check. I mean, yeah, anyone who keeps vivariums will tell you that it is really hard to strike a balance if you want to have like a self-contained system where like the population of the algae remains perfectly balanced with the population of the fish. It would be quite difficult to maintain that equilibrium. This is, I was looking into it for a while. By the way, hit like if you're enjoying hanging out here. We are going to talk about more serious politics in a bit. I mean, this is climate change, climate justice, science. These are the kind of things that we enjoy talking about here. And that's just, you know, we're going to get to more serious topics in a bit as far as like politics and representatives and the title of the stream. But for now, we're vibing. Trees making the area around them cooler. True. Tree gender is the coolest gender. Just invest in public transportation. That alone would fix this problem along with a bunch of others. Right. If this, you know, street didn't have to be 4 lanes wide because of parking on the side of the street and driving in the middle of the street, then we would not have as much of this issue. No more stroads. No more stroads. I think I'd like this idea. Oh, sorry. Can't talk. I think I'd like this idea if it wasn't phrased as a replacement for trees, especially if they used that glowing algae. That'd be sick. I mean, yeah, like if this was just for fun, if this was just because it's cool, that would be, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. It's neat. But let's not pretend like this is gonna be the cyberpunk, like, replacement thing later. Yeah. Like, ooh, look at how advanced and cyberpunk our cities look. Isn't that crazy? We put plants in a box, and that's, like, what's gonna be the future of trees in an urban environment. Like, no. This can be, like, a cool art installation with maybe you could do different colored algae. Maybe you could do different fish in different ones. I don't know. Just throw some colored LEDs in there that make patterns happen. Maybe jellyfish or something. I don't fucking... Yeah, like, make it cool. Make it an art installation. But don't act like this is gonna be the future of trees in an urban dwelling area. Anyway. Yes, thank you all for liking the video. We appreciate it. It bumps the stream immediately. That was a huge bump. Thank you, guys. If it were the edible kind like they use in the space program, it may actually be helpful. I would rather you plant fruit trees than this. I would earnestly rather... Like, this still seems like just a bunch of extra steps that are unnecessary. I would kind of rather... Bumping for visibility, thank you. I would kind of rather just plant fruit trees. And this is a personal pet peeve of mine as well, that cities will not plant female trees because they fruit. And so this is why people who live in cities have so many allergy problems. You know, like the Bradford pears are fucking all over the place right now in Kansas. Yeah, the trees all over the place. So if we were to plant female trees, like instead of male trees, we would have more fruit. But the thing is that fruit creates more street trash, effectively, and then cities don't want to pay for that. So it's just a bunch of stupid, like, for-profit bullshit motives. And of course, you know, that doesn't even go into the question of... It's strange how policies have a tendency to just naturally avoid things like free food growing in the community, you know? Yes, you are cocaine-snorting tree cummies. Allergic to the plant cum. Yep. We have walnut and plum trees near where I work at nearby churches. Yeah, but that's private property. And, like, you, of course, like, you can ask and, like, and they'll give you permission, but that's not the same as fruit just grow. Like, if you go to the park to play Frisbee with your friends, you should be able to find fruit. And it should be well planned such that, like, different parts of the park bloom at different times of the year, or maybe, like, within a garden, there's different... This is what I would love to do in my future garden. Like, when I fantasize about having a house, which I have to own up to the fact that I want to own a house someday. I realized recently that I want that. I had a moment where I was like, oh, I realize that I'm fantasizing about my future in a way that's like, oh, I know for sure what I want to do and what I don't want, which is strange to have gotten to that point, but it's good. But my fantasy garden is one that is coordinated in such a way that it probably, ideally it would bloom and fade out and fruit in like a pattern, like maybe starting in the corners in the spring and then coming out into the rest of the lawn or something like that. I don't know. But I like the idea. You should be able to find fruits. Smuggy, true. That would be a wonderful idea that would help the poor for sure. Yeah, but like in order for you, like the kind of society that you would need to be in that would encourage things like growing fruit trees on public land that anyone is allowed to take from, like is already a society that you wouldn't really have poor people who needed to rely on fruit in the garden. Oh, that's nice. I pick up the crab apples up from downtown. Crab apples are both male and female on the same tree, I think. Oh, that would be really convenient. It's like a wave, but it takes all year to go from one side to the next. Something like that. Yeah, something along those lines. I'm sick like right now, and it's because spring hit Washington like a fucking semi. My throat has been like sore, and I don't think I'm sick. I have the COVID tests, and I will be taking them before I go see anyone in a personal space. Just throughout the allergy season, I'm probably gonna have to take COVID tests just to make sure, because I like, especially with the Bradford pears, but throughout the allergy season, I just have mild drainage and sore throat. Honestly, I'd really prefer if I could pick fruit from local sources. Yeah, and like, yeah, that's not even to account for the fact that it would reduce the need for, like, traveling fruit across the country. You know, like, if you grow fruit only in one specific place, and then you have to pick all the fruit there and then send it elsewhere, there's like, it's labor intensive, and you're paying for the gas for these giant trucks to ship things across the country. Like, that accounts for a huge amount of pollution, is the fact that we just constantly have semis on the road traveling goods back and forth when you could be growing those goods in your community. But of course, that would be devastating to the economy the way that it's set up. Rah, bullshit, whatever. Community fruiting. Community frauding? Anyway, shipping emissions are insane. Yeah. And like, so many people would be able to stay home and not have to work a shitty trucking job. Like, trucking jobs are awful. Fruitopia. Abolish golf courses, turn them into gardens. I fucking wish, yo. Community gardens are great. I would love it. I mean, personally, I like the idea of having my own private garden. But I also recognize that there might be like 3-week periods of time where I'm like, I can't maintain this. You know, in my hypothetical future where I just have a house where I own like a little plot of land on it. It's a fantasy that I have. These are the wild fantasies that millennials have. We wish for financial stability and for a little plot of garden. I haven't had my allergies acting up yet. Somehow, must be the Biden vaccine rewriting my DNA with mRNA in order to turn me into an Antifa super soldier. I am along with you. I am an Antifa super soldier. All my homies hate golf courses. This is an absolute fact. My latest daydreaming has been going on floor plan websites and picking out my favorites. Yeah, I think we may have talked about this a little bit on Sunday, Gayfesh. I haven't been making any serious wishful thinkings about it, but I mean, I actually, a while ago, I created like a document that had like, I kind of was working on a spreadsheet basically of, I also thought that I wanted to theme the garden with like, maybe this corner is, like earth, wind, fire, air kind of bullshit. or earth, wind, fire, air, water. What, like, earth, wind, and air are the same. Sorry, wind and air are the same thing. I just, like, was trying to rattle something off without thinking about it too hard, and it didn't work very well. So I had, like, a whole thing with, like, okay, these plants would correspond with this section. Like, obviously, the fire section is going to have a lot of succulents and desert plants, and maybe other things that are going to be, like, vibrant orange and stuff like that. So I kind of like the idea of doing that. But then also, I was plotting out what time of year do these things bloom? What kind of soil do they need? What kind of sunlight do they need? It would require so much planning and, like, it would probably take me, like, 10 years to get that garden to the place that I wanted it to be at. And that's assuming that all of the plants, like, lived. The fire section could have the volcanic rocks. Well, you gotta be careful with that because the volcanic rocks are black, aren't they? And the rocks underneath are potentially gonna reflect light back up. So I gotta actually think, like, I guess you might want black rocks, but black rocks would, like, absorb the heat into the ground, and, like, lighter colored rocks would reflect light underneath the plant, and that could burn it. So I guess it's, like, you just gotta figure out what to do with that. Hello, Morningstar System, back from a big polycule date. Ooh, that sounds fun. What kind of sunlight? I meant, like, what amount of sunlight, Quantum Cactus? Like, partial sunlight or full sunlight? That's how you talk about it in the plants. A vaccine joke. What do you call an anti-vaccine nanny? Mrs. Doubtpfizer. Lulz. That's a good one. I love me some indoor plants. I've gone down the plant rabbit hole. Yeah, I mean, I said it earlier. I have 30 plants or so. I could sit here and count them, I guess, if I could think about it. Like, one of them I still have, but I'm about to throw it away, so I'm not going to count that one. You talk about it in the plants? Yes! You got to get all up inside their guts. If you keep saying black rocks, maybe your videos will start running Raytheon ads. I mean, that's money that I need, so I'll take Raytheon's money. All of mine are behind me. I made my own soil mix. Someone asked me earnestly if, like, oh, how do you keep those vines so healthy? Y'all, they're fake. They're plastic. If you didn't know that, these are plastic. And I'm gonna get another package of them soon. Ooh, oh, hold on. I have to do something real quick before I forget. Okay, I just had to do something before I forgot to do it. We have an arboretum near where we live, and it's sick as fuck. There is an arboretum not too far away, I think, but I am not sure. It seems like it's pretty new, so I don't know if the plants are, like, very big. Do you still have your orchid? I do. I will show it to you if you want. I actually have two orchid plants, but one of them, the other one is just still, the flower stalk is only like 4 inches long. But this is my orchid plant. Just absolutely absurd. And these are not, it's not like I bought this plant and it already had this flower. Like, this is the flower that it got after it's been living with me for like a year. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think that we're doing good. Pleased. Quite pleased. And it smells good. I want to water plant the orchid. Evidently they can grow in just water. I wouldn't do that, personally. This is a mixture of sphagnum moss, like, not like ground up sphagnum moss, but like strings of sphagnum moss and tree bark, like bits of tree bark. So this is a very airy soil mix, basically. And it likes that a lot because Phalaenopsis orchids kind of like grow attached to the side of trees, so. Anyway, that's my cutie pie honey bunch. Are the plastic variety more hardy? Yeah, they are, they're, you know, they're just a little bit hardier. Just the plastic ones, like, they just take a little bit less attention. I want a bonsai tree, as I'm currently a non-plant person, but some of them bear fruit and it would be fun to try a little thing. Bonsai, apparently if you get into bonsai, my partner was looking into it, and typically if you get into it, you want to have like maybe 4 going at a given time, because it's a hobby that requires so much time, so little time actually sitting down doing it. That like if you're the kind of person who gets into bonsai, you usually have several different bonsai plants. I'd still find a way to kill them. They biodegrade slower too. Yeah, well that's why I don't throw those vines in the garbage. Ooh, you have one baby tree that you want to train? That's gonna be fun. I'm currently growing an oak tree bonsai. It started out as a joke, but it might actually get serious. Just dedicate some serious time to it. I saw some wild orchids in Colombia. Ooh. I didn't realize that chat was going to be so excited about bonsai and like plants and stuff. Cool, a single bonsai might survive here. You still need to like water it regularly and give it regular attention in that way. But as far as like the shaping and crafting of the tree, you're gonna make like... What the fuck is a bonsai tree really? I've never known anyone who does it in meat space. It's any plant that can grow like a thick barkish base. So like basically any type of tree can be grown. Like you just trim it and like stunt its growth, and then like sometimes you can like take a piece of wire and like tie it down and stuff so that it grows in a certain shape. So you just like keep it trimmed down and keep it in a small pot so that the like root system can't get very big. But it's like literally any tree can do that. And it's supposed to mimic, it's an art form, yeah, that mimics trees that grow on really high mountaintops. Like they grow in like stony places and there's lots of wind. Yeah, they've been trained to be small. I figured out I can only keep cacti alive in my apartment. I have lots of light and I can remember to water stuff like once a month. Highly recommend aloe vera, for sure. Having plants around your home is crucial to physical and mental health, especially if you spend a lot of time indoors. I believe it. They clean the air. They produce so much oxygen. I have like 6 snake plants. Yeah. Okay, so there's... Wait. 3, and then 5, and then 8, and then... Yeah, I have like 30 plants. Like, I'm not gonna try to do the exact math. I love me a snake plant. I have 2. I had 1, and then my partner asked me to get some on clearance, so I bought 4 that day on clearance, and then my sister-in-law recently gave me some of her plants. Kimber Wolf with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're just sitting here chilling and hanging out, but you know, it's been almost an hour starting stream, so maybe we should move into more serious topics momentarily. But thank you for helping me with the stream goal. This is my full-time job, so I appreciate it whenever you guys hit like or when you donate. Share with your friends. Join the Discord server so you can get updates on when we're gonna go live. We appreciate you. Do you have aloe vera? I have 1 aloe vera. Yes. And I've had it... It might be one of the plants I've had for the longest. It's doing pretty well. It's doing okay. I'll say it's doing okay. It probably wants more light, but it's doing okay. I think I need... Unfortunately, I think I do need more plant lights. Or, like, stronger plant lights. I don't know. If y'all have suggestions for good plant lights, that would be ideal. And... I mean, perhaps if I could keep the number of outlets I'm using to a relative minimum, that would be great. I also have an agave plant, which my sister-in-law gave me recently. I have lettuce and green onions growing. I don't have enough light for those things. I don't know if it's pronounced Vera or Vera. I'm not trying to be the police of how to pronounce plant names. Vera. I don't pronounce it, I just grow it truthfully. Jiminy Christmas. Alright, we should get news ready. Aloe Vera. Vira. Is it? It's Elvira? Vegetated if you watch SNL. I'm pretty sure that I switch back and forth between saying aloe vera and aloe vera. Like caramel and caramel. Different contexts. Like a caramel apple. But give me a caramel, you know? Caramelized. I don't say caramelized. I say caramelized. Different contexts for different... I think it's because I'm from the Midwest. Like, when you are from Kansas, you just have a pronunciation that is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Just kind of everywhere. I took one of those quizzes one time when you go through and you're like, do you call them crayfish or crawdads or crayfish? And like, you answer, and like, do you call it soda or pop or Coke? I got it. It was fucking laser accurate to where I grew up. Just, there were like 3 cities on the list, and they were like cities in a triangle like this around, like right the area where I grew up. It was perfect. I don't want to start a war. I didn't mean to start a war. Don't go on about whether it's actually called soda or pop. Dwarf lobster. That's pretty sick. Mud bugs. Oh geez, I've started something. It's called Pepsi. Pepsi is just a generic word for all sodas. Alright, so let's decide what we're gonna talk about first. Because we do have a few things on the list. We can talk a little bit about the abortion pill thing. Because we skipped it last time, so I technically should probably cover it. Still. Although I don't know if that's gonna actually end up going on the channel or not. God, do you see what happens to my hair ties? They get, like, stretched out. And then they're not as useful. It's pretty irritating. I gotta find a different one. I should just keep my hair ties at my desk. No, I shouldn't. I don't need any more shit over here. You can get hair ties that aren't rubber band based. Yeah, I'm sure. It's like the place where the rubber band should be. It's just like not connected there. It's like a rubber band that has a piece of glue in the middle. And then when that glue breaks, it stops being as useful, you know what I mean? I had a lady order a, quote, gallon of pop once. How did you handle that as an employee, Spacer's Choice? Like, what would you do? What's up, Rebecca? Yeah, I'll just get more of these. A soda keg, true. I sold her a 2-liter. I mean, I guess that's fair. A 2-liter is like more than a gallon. Or they should be roughly similar, I think. Anyway, the abortion pill thing... No, it's not. Is a liter... 2 liters... Oh, 2 liters roughly half a gallon? Really? I guess I don't really buy 2 liters very often, so I don't have a good frame of reference for how big that is. Why do we measure soda in metric? It's above my pay grade. Didn't mean to start a war. Got songs stuck in my head now. The hair tie I'm wearing, I've been the hair tie I'm wearing, I have been wearing for like 2 years, going strong. That is impressive. What brand? Slaps Hungry Bears. I can't decide if I want my hair up or down. If they call us demons or imps, are we allowed to go demon mode and or imp mode on them? I mean, they certainly keep giving us compliments that are making me feel a little bit abashed. And maybe, like, I need to do something to earn that compliment because I haven't yet. Just a little bit. But yeah, so there's that. I'll message you on Discord when I can find out. Yeah, no worries, Slaps Hungry Bears. Yeah, wear your hair horizontally, not up or down. That would be quite impressive. If I can do that, then you know that I have superpowers, and fear me. Love me and despair. So, yes. The demons and imps thing is also on the list. So we got the abortion pill, the demons. I don't really want to talk about the Tennessee drag ban. That kind of sounds like a bummer. Justin Jones got reinstated. I don't know. There's not really much news aside from that. As far as that goes, I think. It's just like, hey, he got reinstated. So we might cover it briefly. Just style it like Paul from Tekken. Florida rep calls us demons. And also we could go over the coverage of the Missouri. They're hearing the anti-trans bill in Missouri, which is that's where my younger sibling lives, and this bill does not have a grandfathered in clause, so it's like we're having the discussion about the bill that could forcibly detransition my younger sibling, which is not what we want. So that's another thing that we could talk about today. Did a lawmaker watch a Demon Mama stream and think that she and chat literally thought they were imps/demons and he agreed? I think it would be very, very, very funny if Demon Mama got name dropped like that. I doubt that that's what happened, but it would be very, very, very funny. Okay, but we are, though. I mean, you are imps, it's true. Hello, Violet! Just finished helping someone fix their laptop, so now I get to chill and have lunch and play WoW. Yeah! I was, excuse me. I was doing all kinds of shenanigans last night on WoW, and by all kinds of shenanigans, I mean I was farming eggs. That's what I was doing. Transcend Fahrenheit and Celsius, use Kelvin. Here's what I think, okay? Celsius makes sense for science and when you're thinking about water. Fahrenheit makes sense when you're thinking about human beings. Like 0 equals cold, 100 equals fucking hot, 72 equals pretty good. Like I feel like that makes sense, right? And then Kelvin is for the universe. I might have a little bit of a computer upgrade soon, depending on what taxes happen. So, I'm excited about that myself. Just talking about upgrade. I had a RAM upgrade recently, so I'm excited about those things. Computer-wise and gaming-wise. They say they're not phobic because they're not afraid of us, and yet demons seem like a pretty scary concept to the fundamentalist. That's a really interesting point. Okay, don't go anywhere. Click like really quick. And we'll decide what we're going to talk about first when I get back, because I'm just going to refill my water. I'm just going to get a little bit of water, and I'll be back momentarily. I'm going to go somewhere. Don't! You're not allowed to. Do you want to be grounded? You're about to be grounded. I don't approve. The dragon does not approve. Okay, I shoved some food down my gullet while I was at it. Now I'm back. Welcome to the website, Spicy Potato. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Give it up for our man's the chair. I know. Give it up for Dumpster Chair. Dumpster Chair has been doing me pretty well for being a dumpster chair. How did you eat that fast? Well, because I made... So here's the thing. I actually made a bowl of food before stream, and I was trying to eat it, but it was still really hot because I reheated some chili on the stove, and it was just too hot for me to eat very fast. So it's been sitting over here, and I realized since I was taking a minute to get some water that I could also just, like, while I was in the kitchen, like, just shovel some already made chili into my face. And I'll finish the bowl after stream. I just don't get how you scooped and swallowed that fast. Like, even I'm impressed. I don't know. Sometimes when you really need to knock it back, you can just knock it back. This is... Going to the gym makes you hungry! You know? You had water too. I think you just time traveled, bro. I time traveled. I mean, that's the ultimate secret. Anyway, okay. So here's the deal. Yeah, we can, here, let's talk about Justin Jones just really briefly, since that's a quick one. That's a quick one. We can get through it quick. Oh my god, why is the scrolling taking so long? I just need to retweet this. Okay, I did retweet that. Good. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a lot to add on this, and I don't really want to watch this video, but the Nashville City Council voted unanimously to reinstate Justin Jones to his House seat. This is completely backfiring on Republicans. If you don't remember, Justin Jones is this young man, not the one with the afro, but the one with the, like, hair pulled back. I have some serious salt about the MO situation. Yeah, did you mention something about the whistleblower situation being bullshit? But yeah, thank goodness it was the Nashville City Council, and I mean it's really encouraging to see that they voted unanimously, you know. Because that means that there wasn't any question that the expulsion was wrong. or that the expulsion, like, shouldn't remain, you know? So it kind of makes it seem like at least some of our democratic institutions are going to be okay. We'll see how long that lasts. That's about the extent of the commentary that I have on the subject, I think. But I thought it was important to mention, at least. Ooh. Oh, gosh. Okay, what else do we have that we want to go over right now? What do people think about the Nike situation with Dylan Mulvaney? Anything in particular about it? Spirit? Like, is there something about it in particular that you think is worthy of mention? Because as far as I can see, it's like... So we talked about the Bud Light situation, because I think that the Bud Light got more hate than Nike did, you know? Because Nike sort of already alienated their conservative audience by supporting Colin Kaepernick. That's his name, right? Colin Kaepernick? But as far as Nike and Dylan Mulvaney, like, I don't know that there is much commentary to be had about that. But if there's something in particular that that's, like, unique about it, feel free to let me know. How many corpos are supporting Dylan? There was another one, Olay, I think. Like, Olay is a makeup company. And, yeah, so that's 3 at least. She has a deal with Nike, she has a deal with Bud Light, and she has a deal with Olay skin products. And probably that's going to keep happening, because it's easy for her to make... it's easy for her to make TikTok content from home, right? Everyone started saying that it's erasing women, which is ridiculous. It's just the radical feminists ranting on and on. I guess I did see a little teeny tiny bit of that. I don't know what to say to that right this moment. That, like, the idea that it's erasing women... Like, for one transgender woman to have a modeling gig, literally one. I feel like Dylan's image is kind of being weaponized by Corps for controversy marketing. No, I don't disagree with you, Eric. I think that I'm glad that she's making her buck, but I do think that it's deliberate outrage marketing. Like, I mean, it's 2 things at the same time. One, they do think, apparently these companies do think that it's more profitable to support LGBTQ people than it is to be against us. Like, companies have determined that it's more profitable for them to support queer people. And at the same time, they know that if they support queer people, like, not only is it financially beneficial in the sense that being bigoted causes people to boycott you, and that's negative press in that way, but, like, the more conservatives get mad about it, the more people are talking about your product. It's free advertisement. It's kind of the same reason why some folks really hold the news people accountable for Trump winning the election, in the sense that Trump got a ton of free advertisement from the news just talking about him. It's, you know, normally politicians have to pay for advertising time in order to get their name on the air. A certain number of times their name is mentioned per hour or whatever. But when you're covering a candidate and talking about their campaign, talking about their actions, you're giving them a lot of free publicity. So that's kind of one of the things that I think is intentional in the outrage marketing, is that, like, you know, people who didn't buy your product before are going to buy it for the sake of showing their specific support and telling you that they agree with your message. And even the people who are saying, oh, I'm going to boycott your stuff. Like, well, we watched that Kid Rock video where he shot a bunch of cans of Bud Light, like a bunch of clearly full cans of Bud Light. So he either bought the product in order to shoot at it, or he already bought the product and decided to destroy it. And either way, Bud Light still made money, you know? Later, Spider. Thank you for your dono again. We appreciate it. Be like Spider. And donate to your favorite streamers when you can afford it. Help streamers get their teenage siblings' name court order before it becomes illegal to do that. So that's actually a thing that I have to do this year. Is like my teenage sibling, I'm gonna have to get his name changed imminently. Like hopefully within the next 6 months. And then like deal with and like pay for the court proceedings and stuff for that. So support your boy, because I am now supporting, I'm like partially supporting 2 teenagers. So yes, help support my degenerate lifestyle of being a surrogate parent to my teen siblings. Can you file for a fee waiver? Maybe, I don't know. That part remains to be seen. We're gonna have to, you know... I wish I could pull the ridiculous donos that I could last year. Listen, those ridiculous donos helped get me through a hard time, and now I'm in a stable time, and so it's perfectly acceptable. I really appreciated it. It helped a lot, and now I'm like... Now it's like, ooh, be good at budgeting. Yeah, and I am good at budgeting. Chat needs to donate money so Lux can live the dragon dream of sleeping on a pile of gold. Oh gosh. I'll have to have like a second camera, and like I'll have to get a new cover. I have like a beanbag chair behind here. I know it's not very obvious that I do, but like here's the cover of the beanbag chair that I'm just pulling up there. I gotta get one that's like gold color, and then I'll have a second camera that points down at that, and then I'll be able to lounge on the gold. Become a sleep streamer, Luxander. Be a dragon sleeping on gold for money. That's explicitly not allowed on Twitch, isn't it? Is it allowed on YouTube? Are you allowed to sleep stream? Sorry, I can only donate jewels. I have a P.O. box. If you can only donate things, I have a P.O. box. I'm slowly getting better at budgeting. Not perfect, but better. My savings just went into a dental surgery. That's the thing about savings, is it always goes towards some medical bullshit, doesn't it? But yes. Kid Rock now supporting a new seltzer that supports trans. Wait, what? Sorry, Siri, did Kid Rock switch to like White Claw, but White Claw actually still supports trans people? They are just running out of places to go. They're like running through the forest, and like behind every tree they turn around, there's another trans person, like just like purge style, like wearing masks, like just ready. Like no, it's drag queens. It's all the most like elaborately done up drag queens with like the giant hair and the like clownish, like intense contrasting makeup, just like lurking behind every tree. Didn't Kid Rock have his own beer? Seems exceptionally performative for him. I don't know. I guess when you're a cheapskate, then you might have a product, but then not actually buy it. You're like, I'm only gonna make money off of this ridiculously overpriced product that has my name on it. Have you done a Slay the Dragon recently? If not, you're gonna like the videos. I have not done a Slay the Dragon recently. I feel like it needs to be something... Oh, thank you! Spicy Potato with the $9 donos. Spicy Potato gives you small potatoes. Use potato. I will use the potato. That's perfect. 24? Yes. Thank you, I appreciate that. I would not trust Kid Rock's beer. It might actually just be his piss. I am now legally Christy Brown. Did you actually change your name? That's excellent. I'm gonna be trying to change the name of my teenage sibling before it becomes illegal to update their birth certificate. Like, my sibling, you know, they live in Missouri right now, but born in Kansas, and Kansas apparently might be trying to make it illegal to update your birth certificate, so we're gonna have to do that. I just looked up sleep on Twitch and found a bunch of streams. I'm not saying you should actually do it, but yeah, if it is, it isn't actually enforced well. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be streaming on Twitch anyway. I just thought that it was a policy on Twitch. So I just was kind of running with that assumption. Maybe it used to be and now it's not anymore. I've been saving for the last 12 years to get FFS surgery, and I'm still only halfway to the cost of just 2 procedures. Wow, that is very difficult, Spirit. So many people in our community rely on donations, basically, like, to support them getting their medical care. That's probably what I'm gonna have to do when I eventually get gender-affirming surgeries. Well, it might just be that they're making it so that you can't update your sex on your birth certificate, Spicy Potato. And they can restrict the reasons for changing your name on your birth certificate so that you can still... you're still allowed to change it for adoption reasons or marriage reasons or divorce reasons, but you can't change it for the elective transgender reasons, you know? The original company that made Kid Rock's beer went out of business. Sadly, another company has taken up making it, but still, that's funny. So what I'm hearing is have a based parent that changes it for you. Well, I mean, even if you have... The thing is that, like, there are mechanisms in place for changing the name of a child, and it always requires parental permission. How much for your sibling's name change? Hundreds? I think it's gonna cost, like, about $200, but I've only just started looking into that process, like, today. So, I'm guessing it's gonna be about $200. I'm gonna look into it. But yeah, so, you know, you can change a kid's name and gender on their birth certificate for trans-related reasons with parental permission. And they're just trying to make it to where you can't do that, for whether you're an adult or a minor. We can't get a birth certificate change without a gender recognition certificate. Only got that when a referral for GRS is made, but the waiting times for that in the UK are up to 5 years. Right. They're making it effectively impossible to have correct documentation in the UK. We've talked about that before on stream, you know. If you have to wait 5 years to just see a doctor for the first time for your gender dysphoria diagnosis, and then you have to have 2 appointments in order to get that diagnosis, and then you get put on a wait list for HRT, and then you have to be on hormones for a period of time before they'll consider you for bottom surgery, and all of this, you know, at this point, probably might as well take like 20 years. No, they don't really care about you. Missouri, wait. I think in Missouri it's already required you have bottom surgery to change your sex on the birth certificate. It depends on where you live. Yeah, I'm not sure if Missouri... Thankfully, that doesn't affect us because none of us were born... Like, none of the trans people that I'm working with in close community were born in Missouri. So... Michigan, as far as I know, has a weird thing where they put the new name on your birth certificate, but it's in teeny tiny print. Oh, that's annoying. This is a real issue if you're intersex and a DNA test says that you're different from what you were assigned at birth. Yeah, can't imagine. Missouri might as well change the sex marker from M/F to P/V at that rate. I have never updated my birth certificate. Because, like, there's 2 things. Okay, okay. Listen to how stupid I am, y'all. Okay, so here's the thing. I got married when I was 18. Which is not the stupid decision that I'm referring to, although in retrospect, maybe it wasn't the best decision. But I got married when I was 18, and I changed my full name. I changed my first, middle, and last name. I took my partner's last name, and I changed my entire name, the whole thing. So if I were to change the name on my birth certificate, if I were to change it from, like, if I were to change it to, like, my new name and my original last name, then it kind of feels to me like I need more and more documents to give a paper trail. Because if my birth certificate says my name, but a different last name, and then my current ID says my name with my my marriage last name, but I don't have a document that, like, my marriage license doesn't say my old name with a, like, you know what I mean? Like, my marriage license doesn't say my true name with my old last name. It says my old name, the entire old name. So that, I just was wondering if that would present issues for me. You know, the assumption might be I changed my last name because I got married, but I would no longer have a piece of documentation that says that easy transition. So then it would just mean, like, I need to have my birth certificate, my marriage license, my court, like a copy of my court order name change that allowed me to change my birth certificate. You know what I mean? Like, so that's part of the reason why I never changed my name on my birth certificate. And the other thing is that in Kansas, you can't, there's no option for an X on your gender marker on your birth certificate or on your driver's license. And I kind of have been under the assumption that, well, I mean, like, I don't want to change my birth certificate gender marker to male because I don't think that that's accurate. It's only male on my driver's license because when Trump got elected, I was, like, trying to pass as male, and I thought it would be safer for me if it said male instead. And so now I'm just kind of like, well, hopefully I can pass as male at any given moment if need be. Although I guess I would kind of like for it to have X on my, like, I definitely want it to, if I change it on my birth certificate, I want it to say X. If I change it on my driver's license, I guess I would kind of like it to say that. It's not like I'm not visibly trans regardless of what it says on there. You worked at the post office, you can pass as male. True. Just give me, like, a... I pass as male. Don't look at me. When my mother died, I ran into problems because the name on her birth certificate was different from what she had on Social Security, etc. It slowed down getting her death certificate and caused issues with life insurance, etc. I straightened it out, but I had to get a lawyer to do so. Why? After this many years of women taking their husband's last name, like, why? Why is there still an issue? I know my passport can have an X marker. I'm hoping that I will be able to justify buying one this year, a passport. I don't need one yet in terms of, like, leaving the country or anything. And it's gonna cost $150 or whatever. And I'll probably have X on my passport, but as far as my identity documents in Kansas, I'm not allowed to do that. Eric says, my only thing about X on passports is that it can make international travel difficult in some situations, something for me that would definitely be an issue. I'm only gonna go to countries that are cool with trans people, so I don't think it's gonna be a difficult thing for me, because it's not like I'm trying to go to some place that I'm not gonna be safe anyway. Damn, it's good to be back and see you again. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for hanging out with us. Being a member of the Horde. OMG, I work at the post office. Yeah, Z, I used to be a mailman, and it fucking sucked, and was a bad time. For me, the X on my passport is a way for me to know if I will be safe going to that country. Right. Okay, what else do we have on the docket for today? I made a spur-of-the-moment decision to have my ID say male last time I got it renewed, and now in public I have so many anxieties over being perceived as trans masc or trans femme. Yeah. I think if I'm not like literally wearing a dress, I think in most cases I would be able to pass as male. I also work at the post office part-time though. I really do think it's a terrible place to work. But if you're working there and you're making good money, I can't argue with your choices, right? I pass as male even in a dress at this point, which is my goal, so I still have, you know, the booba. And sometimes when I'm wearing dresses, I wear like push-up bras, so in those cases, I think that I would be perceived to be a trans woman, which is not ideal. Do I really want my gender as a marker on any government issued ID? Do I want to be tracked like that? I mean, you have to have one on there, so it's just a matter of how, like, do you want it to be accurate or what? 69 viewers, nice! We have 69 viewers, but more than 69 likes, so I guess I can't even ask you, like, let's get those likes up to match, you know, whatever, but you should like the stream still. I've been calling myself an imp since before I was aware of Demon Mama. I think I'm a couple years older than her. Yeah, it's just what she calls her fans, or her audience members. Just like, I'm the dragon and you all are the horde. Welcome in. There's 70 people in here. That's awesome. I appreciate you all hanging out in here. The streams are bumping. I feel like this community is growing pretty well. Like a year ago, we were regularly getting like 30, maybe 20 or 30 people. And now we're pretty, on a day where we have a decent stream title, we're getting like 60, 70 people in the stream. It's going good. I'm really mad that there's not much more info on how much, I'm mad that there's not more info on how much info was shared by the quote whistleblower at the trans youth clinic in Missouri. There are multiple articles that mention the spreadsheet she kept of, quote, red flag patients and those she personally thought weren't trans. Right. I think that those documents are probably part of the court proceedings. Like, she may be being sued for medical breach of confidentiality, in which case those documents are going to be potentially sealed during the proceedings. But I understand, it's still frustrating. You're like, I want to know to what extent, and yeah, and they have to be careful when they, what is this whistleblower BS? I've been running Pathologic IRL and missed it. Yeah, so I actually don't think we ever really talked about it on the stream. I don't know if I want to do like a whole segment right now. But basically what happened is that a woman who was like the receptionist at a youth gender clinic in like St. Louis or something like that in Missouri, she was keeping a spreadsheet of which patients she assumed were not actually trans. And she documented things like when the kids would make clear, obvious jokes about their identities and things, like just arbitrarily violating the healthcare protection rights and confidentiality of minor patients. Sorry for not talking much in chat recently. I'm just really quite freaked out about everything, even though I'm in the UK. No worries, Super Dr. Hulock. We try our best. I'm trying my best lately to do chill streams. So, like, if you ever see a stream title that you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that stream title doesn't make any sense. What could they possibly be talking about? Instead of it being a reference to something clearly political, the likelihood is that we're just talking about stupid bullshit that doesn't matter. So, just so you know. I know that you're in the UK, so maybe it's midnight when we're doing those streams, but just be aware. So many HIPAA violations. Mental health is rough too. I know the news feels impossible to look away from, but I feel like we're all crossing the point into digital self-harm recently. I'm doing my best to take breaks. And part of getting my computer maybe a little bit upgraded with some tax return money, potentially, it might be good in terms of like, oh, then I can just do gaming stuff and we can do chill things. Like, maybe we'll just talk about whatever while I play World of Warcraft. Maybe we could even talk about politics while I play World of Warcraft. That could be fun. In the UK, there are people who are mad that teenagers might want chest binders, and that's the craziest. I can't understand. If you insist that you're raising a girl, hiding titties is good, right? There is always kind of this weird undertone of sexualizing the teenagers involved. And especially the girls. Like, from their perspective, they're thinking of their bodies as like, oh, little girls. And like, oh, your precious boobies. And like, how could you get your boobies cut off before you ever have the experience of someone caressing them? It's like, you fucking pedophiles. Like, you freaks. What is the matter with you? And that's basically where it is. I was attracted to the demons aspect. True. The demons. Oh, look at that little button. Oh, that's late. Just hearing this makes me regret eating. No. We'll get off of it. I enjoyed a fun indie game recently. It's a dumb point-and-click called Later Alligator, and it's actually pretty fun at times. I've been playing World of Warcraft, Wrath Classic, and Sea of Thieves recently. My partner got me into Sea of Thieves, and I've been enjoying playing that, especially in groups. Okay, what did I decide I'm going to talk about next? What am I going to talk about next? What am I going to say? I cleared my first Max 10 yesterday. Ooh, nice. Check out Smallland. Y'all, I'm not playing any games that you recommend. Like, I don't mean to be rude. I really don't mean to be rude. I'm for sure not gonna play any games that chat recommends. It's kind of like how I only watch certain TV shows over and over again. Like, I've got my games that make sense. Like, my partner, my actual husband, can barely get me to play games that I don't want to play. So yeah, listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just very selective about what I don't spend very much time gaming, and I'm very precious about that time. Check out Subway Surfers. It's in all the hottest TikToks. I mean, do you mean that they would give me a sponsorship? I might play it in that case. Raid Shadow Legends, where are you at? Okay. Do I actually have any... What is gonna be Mifepristone? In her affidavit... Okay, so Reed is the last name of the whistleblower lady. In her affidavit, Reed claimed, quote, children come into the clinic using pronouns of inanimate objects like mushroom, rock, or helicopter. She also provided an example of, quote, a patient who came to the center identifying as a communist, attack helicopter, human, female, maybe non-binary. Not gonna lie, I would play Raid if they paid me to do it. I feel like I would maybe make a video with a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship if they gave me like $5,000, and then my immediate next video that I uploaded after that would be about how games like Raid Shadow Legends, but not Raid Shadow Legends, I wouldn't name it specifically, like how games like that are predatory and like play on the same issue, like it's gambling, you know? And then I would go back to the video that I had previously uploaded where I have the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, and I would just put the little link in the cards, you know, where it pops up in the corner over here. Mersh recommending complaining to the hospital commission, causing a clinic to lose their accreditation and get them investigated. And Spicy Potato pointing out the problem with that is that we may not be able to go to anyone for the adult trans clinic As a disabled trans dude, I rely on some of their practitioners because they're one of the biggest health systems in the metro area and one of the only trans-friendly in the area for Southern Illinois as well. Yeah, it's really tough. You don't want to, like, lose access. Attack helicopter gender is based. It is. I'm starting to get a clearer idea of what kind of content of, like, what kind of news content belongs on my channel and what doesn't. Like, I kind of feel like the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm realizing that I don't think this mifepristone news is something that really belongs on my channel. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, why does some content seem like it's something I want to cover and other stuff isn't? Or maybe it's just, like, not yet. Maybe there's just not... Maybe it's just because I don't have any unique spin on the mifepristone situation. And so they're... Like, the abortion pill that they're trying to make it illegal. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that was on my list to cover tonight. And I'm just realizing, you know... I mean, we can talk about it, I guess. I just don't have anything to add. I feel extremely privileged right now, and I didn't expect that. Oh, really, Slaps Hungry Bears? Do we have any more details on either of them that would make it interesting? I don't really think so. I mean, basically, where the story is at right now is that some conservative judge who was appointed by Trump said that the FDA's approval of mifepristone needs to be stayed pending further testing and review. But apparently there might even be something of a statute of limitations on how long after the FDA approves something you can put that kind of stay. And there's several lawmakers who are basically saying, we support the FDA continuing to approve this drug or whatever. You know, like, it's a pretty serious direct attack on abortion rights. And, like, partially because, you know, I guess the one thing that is worth mentioning about it is that in a lot of places where they're trying to limit surgical access to abortion, you know, they're reducing the number of clinics and all that, you can still order these pills online and kind of roll the dice on the legality of having it done, like doing it at home. Abortion pill, is that the one you take really in a really short window very early on? There's like the morning after pill, which is not an abortion pill in this sense. The morning after pill is supposed to be taken before implantation could occur, or like, yeah, basically it's supposed to stop a pregnancy before it happens. Whereas mifepristone is an abortion-inducing pill. Like it's a miscarriage-inducing pill. Like, you are pregnant, and it makes you have a miscarriage. As opposed to the morning after pill, which you just take to prevent your pregnancy from ever starting, you know? Has an FDA approval ever been overturned? I don't think the courts can do that, at least not with any specific harm. I don't really know what power... I mean... It's all about what you believe in terms of power. Like, where do you believe the power is at? If there isn't any explicit rule that says that judges are allowed to reach over into the functioning of the FDA like this, like, it kind of just comes up to, like, whether the lawmakers and the FDA are going to obey that judicial order. So it's we're kind of coming up to this point where when people try to take power outside of their sphere, that's what the checks and balances sort of help with to an extent. Like, when Trump wanted to take power, I can't even remember when specifically it was. Obviously, I think it was before January 6th. But he was like, he was trying to appeal to the military, and it was very clearly a situation where they were like, excuse me, Mr. President, like, we don't enforce martial law in the fucking Capitol over some protesters. Yeah, when do we impeach justices now? I don't know that there is a consistent process for impeaching and repealing justices, because so much of the political system is predicated on like an assumption of goodwill that we didn't create situations, like we didn't create oh my god, we didn't create stipulations on like frameworks for when people decide to seize power or use their power inappropriately. Like if a judge swears to be impartial, but then they're very clearly not impartial. Like if they get voted in by, or sorry, if they get appointed by a Republican, and the Republican, and that judge votes in all of the ways that a Republican would vote, like it doesn't really seem at that point like you're being impartial. It seems like you're towing a party line. And so in that case, there don't seem to be sufficient mechanisms in place for removing those people. Requires a simple majority in the House and a supermajority in the Senate. Yeah, so if you have a stacked, gerrymandered Congress, then realistically there is no way to truly get these federal judges out. It's almost like the entire government system is shitty and bad, and it has to be torn apart brick by brick. It's almost like our lives are never going to get better while the US government exists in the current format that it exists. It just kind of seems increasingly, perhaps, as though people are going to start, like, attacking this structure and really pushing to change it. It kind of seems maybe like some shit is gonna happen. My understanding is that there is a non-surgical pill, but it has to be taken at like 3 to 8 weeks or something. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, it causes you to have a miscarriage. If you, like, it's like when you first learn that you're, like, when you first get the test positive pregnant, like, early on, you're still not showing, first month or so. Yeah, you take the pill, and it makes you have a miscarriage. Which is, like, not pleasant, by the way. I want to make it clear that a self-managed abortion is not, like, a fun time. You're talking about, like, 3 days of bleeding and feeling ill and very, very hormonal and sick and everything. Like, it's... self-managed abortion is not a fun thing. It's basically like having a serious miscarriage, and it might not even clear all of the material out of you. So you might need to go in later and get a D&C anyway. And here's where it gets tricky, is like, if you test the person's, test the person's body system to find out if they took mifepristone, that's like a determining factor in whether this was a miscarriage or a self-managed abortion. So if you do self-manage your abortion in a state where it's not legal to get an abortion, and then you need to go and get a D&C because your body hasn't fully evacuated the fetus and you're getting septic, you might still, like, the hospital might save your life, but then you might get prosecuted later for self-managing your abortion. So those are not good. I guess I did have a decent amount of commentary on this. I was gonna say, there was something else where something about trying to criminalize self-managed abortions. Oh, where is it? Here it is. And this is not, like, exactly directly related, but just hearkening back to the conversation we've been having lately about Anna Kasparian and her whole campaign following in the footsteps of J.K. Rowling about how only women are people who, you know, you shouldn't say people who menstruate or people who can give birth. It's only women. Only women, only women, only women. Like, it's worth noting that 20% of trans people who were pregnant in 2019 attempted a self-managed abortion. Just, you know, speaking of health access, and then, yeah, like, out-of-clinic abortion is a very polite term for anyone trying to do the abortion themselves, either by physical injury, drug overdoses, folk herbs, or other methods. So the number of self-managed abortions are going to be increasing. People are going to continue getting hurt by this and dying. And, like, it's just the same as, like, making abortion illegal in general is only going to cause people to get them another ways. So if you make it to where there are no clinics, then people are going to take this pill and self-manage their abortion. They're going to order pills online from potentially disreputable sources and bleed on their toilet at home, essentially. And then if you make mifepristone illegal, then what are people going to do? People are going to take crazy drugs and put crazy chemicals in their body and throw themselves down the stairs and have, like, the coat hanger done to them. Like, the rate of abortion doesn't change with the legality of abortion. In places where abortion is illegal, the rate of abortion is the same. It's just people seek unsafe methods. If you're pregnant and you don't want to be pregnant, there is basically nothing that you won't do to end that pregnancy, including risking your life. Very seriously, including risking your life. So people are not going to stop getting abortions. It's just about, it's like limiting the number of safe options. Self-womanaged abortions. I know. Okay. That was my bad. That was my bad. I have been caught up in the gender ideology trans cabal, and I didn't acknowledge that women are in fact superior. I called women men by saying that they are self-managing their abortions. They self-womaned their abortions, okay? That was my bad. I'm so sorry. I apologize personally to Anna Kasparian. I'm so sorry. Self-birthing personaged abortions, true. Yeah, even more folks will fail rule number 1. Women already were being prosecuted for miscarriages before the end of Roe, so this just makes it worse. Right. You know, there were some situations where, you know, someone loses a baby very late in the pregnancy, and it's often people of color who are, it's like Native American women, for example. If they lose a pregnancy later on, then they're going to be looked at and it's like, oh, did you take a bunch of drugs to make yourself, and that harmed your baby? Like, oh, maybe we should take your other kids away because you're clearly not a fit parent if you miscarried at like the 7-month mark or whatever. All of these things are like transphobic and racist, and they stack on each other, and nothing happens in isolation, and people are going to die. Like, it's not like, I think people get numb to that phrase and like the idea that people are gonna die, but it's like, it's true. Personally, I don't exaggerate. When I say people are gonna die, I fucking mean that shit. Before the drugs, people used to go to veterinarians. If they were rich, they would get committed to a mental hospital in order to get sterilized under the eugenic policies. Catholic parents would send wayward daughters to mental hospitals often, or they would use the coat hanger. This led to gas gangrene and many deaths. There were plenty of folks, yeah, who would die from sepsis and all kinds of crazy shit. People probably already have died. Undoubtedly. I mean, there was you know, this case was famously in Ireland and not in America, but there was a woman who was pretty far on in her pregnancy and was septic, and the hospital wouldn't save her life. Like, they wouldn't get the baby out, even though the baby was actually basically brain dead. Like, there might have been some electrical activity in the heart, and because there's that electrical activity in the heart, they're like the hospital generally doesn't want to. It was a Catholic hospital in that case, so it was religiously motivated. But the way that it works in America is that the hospital doesn't want to be held liable and potentially lose their funding or their accreditation. I don't have a clip, but people are saying that Anna just said on TYT that she doesn't care to collaborate with any leftist ever again. Fucking doing her left the left grift. Yeah, she went on with Ben Shapiro just a few months ago, right? And since then, it's kind of seems like she's realized that it's profitable. But I think that some of you were saying that it seems like TYT has been trending more conservative on certain issues gradually over time. So it sort of seems like this was inevitable for a liberal institution like TYT. I got knocked up by someone who had had a vasectomy. I was freshly off the depot shot, and I have PCOS. As far as I'm concerned, I terminated the Antichrist. Yeah, for sure. TYT has been a right-wing grifting farm for a long time. Jimmy Dore, David Rubin, Michael Tracy. I didn't know that Dave Rubin came from TYT. I've always kind of stayed distant. That's part of why I didn't know who the fuck Hassan was until recently. It's because I never watched TYT. Good night, Anthony Schuller. But yeah, in summation, Republicans are a death cult. They want people to die. And they're taking action to make it to where that more people will die. And it kind of seems like maybe they shouldn't be in power anymore. And, like, I kind of feel like the Republican Party should be made illegal, but that's one of those things that fascists would do. So I don't know. I don't really know how to handle this issue. They said, like, a month ago that trans people shouldn't be allowed in sports, both Jank and Anna. I'm curious why that didn't hit the internet in the same way. Maybe it's just because they didn't tweet it. Have you watched that Renegade Cut video about not joining the military? No. I have not, I don't think. Is it fascist to want to destroy the fascists, though? Yeah. I know. I think the unfortunate thing is that I don't really think that there's fascist tactics and non-fascist tactics. I kind of think that there are winning tactics and losing tactics. It sort of seems like that's what's going on. Later, Spicy Potato. Later, later. Unfortunately for them that TERF and Turk have the same initials. Yeah. I know that all of these issues stem from a fascist movement. I don't need it proved to me, but yes, it could be worth looking further into if you're not yet convinced. I haven't even seen anyone mention Anna's history of spouting TERF talking points. Is it really not even the first time she's done this? When I think about all the people killed in World War II and the Holocaust, I have no problem trying to eliminate fascists. I remember Uncle Bland who got shot in the back with a machine gun by the Nazis, etc. Yeah, I don't know if it's a controversial opinion, but I really... sometimes when I'm trying to talk about effective tactics, people will be like, well, that's the kind of thing that the Republicans would do. And I guess I'm just increasingly thinking, I don't know if there are... I mean, obviously there's things that fascists tend to do that we don't do. We might use the same tactics, but for different goals. But, I don't know, man. I do kind of think that we should maybe be a little bit more proactive. Generally speaking. I'm currently snacking on cheese and crackers. My sweetie brings me delicious crackers called Toppables. So when I run out, I go ahead and ask for another box of bottoms. True. Isn't it so weird when fascists try to Uno reverse card it back? Wheel out the guillotines! Can you elaborate by what you mean by proactive? I mean, like, literally just... I mean, I advocate for a number of different tactics. I think of the correct approach is to have a variety of tactics. So obviously you have your voting, you have your protesting, you have your showing up at people's houses, you have your I don't know, throwing eggs at people's cars, or like TPing their trees in their front houses. You know, like good fun little shenanigans. That's a prank joke, by the way. That's a joke about referring to pranks. It's just a prank, bro. I'm not talking about serious property damage. Who cares what they would do in the day-to-day, moment-to-moment tactics? Our goals are we want people to live freely, and theirs are we want to kill everyone. I mean, like, when you... I guess it's like an optics game to some extent. Like, if I say I think the Republican Party should be illegal, it's like, well, but actually in Florida, DeSantis is trying to make the Democratic Party illegal. So what, you know, what the fuck are we gonna do? You know, it is the same kind of tactic of trying to remove power from a people. And so it's an optics game of if we were to try, because the whole, you remember when people used to call people feminazis and they actually meant that shit? It's clear that they will portray us as being fascist and authoritarian in order to justify taking power. So we do have to kind of be careful with what we do in terms of, like, the fascism parts. But I don't think showing up at people's houses and accosting them in restaurants is, I don't think that's the same as, like, a coordinated fascist takeover if it's not also paired with government power. Like, we don't have the government power is the problem. Oh, Captain Cougar is now commenting on... Okay, it's been a little bit over a month now, and I've been working out, and I guess that means that we're starting to see some difference. There's definitely a difference in how much I can pick up. I can pick up such heavy things. I can pick up, like, a whole gallon of milk. Easy. Beefcake. Just, ooh, yes. Appreciate the donos for the protein that I have to consume in order to build the muscles so that I can be leftist inspiration. Anyway. Publicly calling them out in public and online, showing them we are watching you, making it clear they don't get to do what they're doing. And we have the really great example of, you know, Megan Hunt and Michaela Cavanaugh in Nebraska. They started a PAC. Like, they started a PAC so that they can fund Democratic lawmakers across the country who are gonna win these elections and then have our will be represented in the government. So, you know, what is it called? The Don't Legislate Hate PAC? Yeah, so, like, one thing that you can do is, like, involvement by either donating or volunteering for various, fuck, what is the word? Campaigns. I noticed improvement in the forearms as well. Yeah, we've been working on the forearms. It's harder to show off the forearm. I'm like, how do I do this? Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a nice angle. Okay. Anyway. How is Tennessee gonna just give us Dolly Parton and then ban drag? Right, doesn't she say... She's like a female impersonator, right? I need to start cycling again. You should. Good grief. I need head-crushing thighs, yo. I think that there's some improvement in my ass muscles. Like, I think that there is, like, an ass improvement, but I haven't taken any progress pictures of my ass. That's just for me to admire in the mirror. Dolly Parton is female, but she has supported people doing drag as her in the past. Well, I mean, I thought that she might even describe herself as a female, like, female impersonator. Also, wasn't there a time where there was a drag competition and Dolly Parton submitted herself in, and then she lost the Dolly Parton lookalike drag competition? I might be misremembering that. Ass improvement, true. There are literally no candid photos of Dolly. We only get to see the persona. Right, her hair is brown. She wears a blonde wig for her Dolly Parton appearances. Love Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson. Basically, everything I know about Willie Nelson is that he is famous for smoking weed. That's what I know about Willie Nelson. That's the extent of it. Yes, that is correct. Dolly famously lost a Dolly lookalike contest. She just didn't try hard enough that day. If you're in the YouTube chat and you've ever wanted to give a dono, you can't do super chats and you can't do YouTube memberships because Google takes too much of your fucking money. So you have to come to my website and donate directly to me. And if you're on the website, you can also do a 1-month subscription for $5, which will give you a cool color name and access to cool emojis. Like dicks. And Wiggles. Oh my god, I love Wiggles. Wiggles is so fucking cute. Shout out to Blue Spectra for making Wiggles. Blue Spectra doesn't hang out in here as much anymore, but still, shout out. And shout out to EB the Purple for making, like, pretty much all of the other custom emojis on the website. I forget who wrote it, but there is a song called I'll Never Smoke Weed with Willie Again. Why? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Gayfesh says, it makes sense that people lose lookalike tests of themselves because everyone else is trying to perform like you while you are just being yourself. So you're not going to be as exaggerated as them, and you will seem subdued and less spot on for what the judges are looking for. That's also true. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Wiggles is a sub only. Sub only. $5. Wiggles. Yeah, it's so fucking cute. I think we should go ahead and commission an overlay soon. Like, I guess I would need 2 versions of the overlay, because we've got, like, this thing, and I kind of want this to be... more organized, you know? With, like, frames around stuff. No Wiggles for us on YouTube. This is fascism. Yeah, Wiggles is an emote that's on the website because basically YouTube doesn't let me do custom emoji uploads. So you gotta come to the website. Kind of like how drag isn't actually trying to pass as a woman. It's an exaggerated performance. Right. The kind of gender that you're trying to embody as a drag queen is not a woman. Like, it's a very different gender. YouTube, so fascist, not allowing me to put custom emojis on their fucking drag gender. Drag queen is its own gender. Excuse me. Later, Z. Excuse me. Those TERFs with dragophobic in their bio on Twitter. It's really funny that, like, cis women and, like, TERFs have issues with drag because they feel like it's female impersonation, whereas I have issues with drag because I feel like it's trans female exploitation. Like, it's kind of funny. DM has some custom emotes on her YouTube chat. IDK if it could do animated ones, though. Yeah, you have to have memberships turned on the... Like, you have to have YouTube memberships, and then the custom emojis are only available for members. But I recently deactivated memberships because they take 30% of your money. And I would rather redirect people to the website where they can support me directly, and then you only have the, like, PayPal fees, as opposed to YouTube essentially... Like, Google essentially takes an advertiser's cut off of the top of your donos. So it's like, for you, if you want to donate to me, you're more effectively spending your money if you do it on the website. One time someone donated $100 and fully 40% of it was just not given to me. Like, it was, earnestly, it was like 30 or 40% of the money just didn't end up coming to me. And they're really not, they're not transparent about what exact percentage of your quote-unquote earned money has been taken away, you know? It's kind of just like, you have to trust that they got it right. Yeah, that's why I turned off those donos. Like, you should not have... It shouldn't be a question of whether the money that you're donating to me is going to go to me or not. It's really weird, but the Wiggles emote in the chat is fine, but in the stream's video, it's not. Yeah, how does it look in the stream video? It looks really weird, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know how to fix that. I know what it is that is happening, but I don't know how to fix it. Uploaded to the Discord. Something in the Discord? Yeah, I see. I have not been able to figure out how to change that. It's just where it rests at the end. It's very strange. Get wiggled, bozo. Okay, do I have any other... Yeah, we've got the demons and imps thing we still need to respond to. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just making random mouth noises because I'm trying to get my notes prepared for the next section. Demons versus imps, who would win? I mean, I think that in the lore, demons would be more powerful, wouldn't they? But there are more imps. Acapella who? That's acapella who. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna refill my water. You know how there's questions about whether There's like questions about whether chili is actually chili if you put beans in it. Or there's a question of like, is chili actually chili if you don't put beans in it? You familiar with this question, y'all? I've done something even more questionable. Here's what I did. I had an entire bag of green lentils that I did not know what to do with. I bought them on a whim like a year ago. I didn't know what to do with them. I really wanted chili recently, and I didn't have any kidney beans, but I did have a big fuck-off bag of lentils, so I made chili with lentils and ground beef and onions and a little bit of diced tomatoes. So, I've never even eaten lentils before, and it basically is just beans. It kind of seems like it's more or less just beans. They're legumes. That's the impression that I'm getting. I hate beans, so I think chili is no beans. Chili is chili when it's chili. I don't eat little bags of sand. I mean, some of them are a lot more creamy. They're not all gritty beans. I want a chili dog now. No! What have I done? Okay. We sip a little water. Chili it's delicious. It's so good. I made a bunch recently, and then today like a couple of days ago, and then today I finally bagged it all up and put it in the freezer in, you know, like single increments. Chili is so good with some cornbread and sour cream. Yo, I should make cornbread. That would be fucking good. I've made cornbread before. What I want is to make... Have you ever had that, like, really desserty, creamy cornbread stuff? It's not exactly creamy. Creamy is the wrong word. But it's, like, really soft. It's like a dessert cornbread. I want to make some of that. I should look that up really quick so that I don't forget later. Dessert cornbread. I want to try one of those. Corny bread. I don't even know if I'll be able to find the thing that I want. A Johnny cake? I don't know, man. What is a Johnny cake? No, that's not quite what I'm looking for. My mom used to make a really good bean and sausage hot pot. Is hot pot like a stew? Is it like a... You, like, put it on the stove all day kind of meal? Here's Johnny cakes. A Johnny cake is a sweet cornbread. I've had something before that was almost like mush. And, like, really moist. And, like, corn-based and sweet. And I have no idea how to go about finding... Nope, not creamed corn. No, it's like a cornbread, but, like, really moist. Not creamed corn. Yeah, high fructose corn syrup, exactly. Corn pudding? Maybe corn pudding. Is... Hold on. Corn... pudding. Polenta? Spoon bread? Okay, it might be... Hold on, let me look up spoon bread, because I feel like Mersh... This feels like something that's like southern bullshit, and I think Mersh would know what I'm talking about. Spoon bread. Is this like... Yeah! This might be what I... Okay, Mersh. I think this might be what I was talking about. It's a southern dish similar to cornbread, but it's more like a souffle with a texture like a British Yorkshire pudding. It needs to be scooped with a spoon. It's like mushy, but it's corn-based and it's like sweet. This might be... Okay, listen. I think that you understood what I meant. I'm gonna try to make some of that sometime. That sounds so fucking good! I've been, like, shouting a lot lately. I had that like 2 gate. Yeah, listen, it was like, you know, I'm from Kansas and my family, like my older family members kind of have some southernish traditions. And so like, this is like a southernish, okay, listen, here's another one, chat. Here's another one. I had another thing that was like, it was in like a loaf that was sliced, and the pieces of bread were like really intensely moist and pudding-ish, but they were still cohesive as a slice of bread. And I've had some things before that are trying to be something like that. Is it bread pudding? Is it just bread pudding? I don't know. Milk toast? Nope, it is not bread pudding. 1,000,000% not bread pudding. It was like the loaf. It was like a bread, and then you would cut it, but it was like creamy. Is it milk toast? No, not that. Yeah, this is one of those things where I've been like, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to find it. But I just figured while we're here, I'll see. Like, soft... if I use any search terms that are gonna try to get me to where I'm going, it's just gonna give me milk toast and fucking bread pudding. This is why I've never looked for it. Partially cooked bread? No. Yeah, no, I'm talking about a different thing. Like, the spoon bread was one thing. You mean like an eggy bread? I don't know. Also, dessert reminds me of pound cake. Yeah, it's a desserty thing. It was like a sweet... reminding me, it might be a pound cake, like a really moist pound cake. Yeah, I've had stuff from the grocery store that's kind of similar, but it's just not nearly to the same degree of, like, wetness. So it might have just been a particular pound cake recipe that was, like, my grandma's friend. So my grandma was a massage therapist, and she would have people who would do partial trades and things like that, and people who would bring her gifts. So she had one client who would bring her this like delicious wet bread. Just the wettest bread you've ever had. But I might have to make myself some spoon bread, because I have the cornmeal and all that shit. That would be so yummy. Eggy bread, maybe? Is bread soaked in a blended egg mix, which can also be sweetened. Was it really sweet? It might be tres leches. It might have been something like tres leches. Wet pound cake sounds like an alt band. I have had tres leches. I don't know. More recently. Bread? I don't know. Is like a bread pudding tres leches? Bread pudding can be found in loaves. That's how our southern chefs made it when I worked at the grocery store. Yeah, can you do bread pudding loaf? Well, thank you for trying anyway. I think pound cake that's really wet is the closest thing. Wet pound cake sounds like not only an alt band. Wet pound cake sounds like that's like the name of my porn video. Anyhow, let's talk about the demons. Oh, queer people. Nobody understands having demons like queer people do. You got demons? Anybody here who has used substances in order to cope with their life. We got demons. Trans people, queer people. We know all about it. And if you're friends with the community of Demon Mama, then you are also familiar with the Imps. Hordes and Imps are friends. Dragon and Demon are friends. We are friendly. Anyway, so a Florida lawmaker, they're just constantly out of pocket in Florida. Just constantly. Every weird thing, every weird bit of news that we get comes from Florida, it seems like. You know, the fascist acceleration is headquartered in Florida. Would you have an OnlyFans? I am in a long-term monogamous relationship that has dealt with a lot of strain, and so what I have is a safe-for-work fansly. I do have a fansly that is sexy outfits, and if you jerk off to it, then I really can't, like, argue about that, but I don't post porn. Like, to be clear. I do post provocative, sexy outfit pics, but that's the extent of it. So, Representative Webster Barnaby, apparently. Let's see what this doddering old person has to say. Let me make sure my volume is good. Make sure volume is good when we good and we good.
I'm looking at society today, and it's like I'm watching an X-Men movie with people that, when you watch the X-Men movies for Marvel Comics, it's like we have mutants living among us on planet Earth.
So this could not be more on the nose. He's talking about trans people there. He's referring to trans people being like, we have mutants around. We have mutants among us. Clearly you didn't watch X-Men, because X-Men, you root for the mutants. Like, you're rooting, you want them, those are the protagonists of the films, the protagonists of the comics. Those are the good guys. And they're being persecuted for being who they are. And part of the message of the movies is that they shouldn't be being persecuted for who they are. He's literally Senator Kelly. He's literally. It started as a race allegory, but it's, like, very clearly been a queer, like, rallying thing. Like, people are like, yeah. Oh God, what is his name? Hold on, I blanked. Magneto is right. And then you have Magneto played by Sir Ian McKellen, who would absolutely be thinking of this role in terms of his identity as a gay man being persecuted. Yeah. Would you like to join Senator, hold on, wait, what is it? Yeah, would you like to join Senator Kelly from the X-Men in becoming a pile of goo, perhaps? I don't know. Let's see what else.
And, you know, some people don't like that, but that's a fact. We have people that live among us today on planet Earth that are happy to display themselves as if they were mutants from another planet.
Self-expression is a bad thing. This just in, conservatives think that tattooing your body and dyeing your hair fun colors are, like, horrendous things that you should avoid doing. Like, how dare you be proud to express yourself?
This is the planet Earth, where God created men, male, and women, female.
If I keep repeating this objectively untrue thing over and over again, certainly that will change objective facts to suit my worldview.
I'm a proud Christian, conservative Republican.
I think that if you are that combination of things, you shouldn't be allowed to hold office. Like, I'm just gonna come out there and say it. I think that you, like, if you openly admit to being a Christian, you should really have a high degree of scrutiny on whether you're gonna be able to separate that from, because, like, Christians overwhelmingly impose their religion onto other people, and they like openly admit to making their legislative decisions based on their religious views, which is, like, very explicitly against the purpose of freedom of religion. Like, I should be able to be free to practice my morals and my religion, or lack thereof. But these Christians are just constantly trying to impose their mythological morality on other people, and it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. We really do need to disenfranchise evangelical Christians. They need to be less enfranchised. Just a little bit.
I'm not on the fence. Not on the fence.
That means not open to any alternative ideas.
There is so much darkness in our world today. So much evil in our world today. And so many people who are afraid to address the evil, the dysphoria, the dysfunction.
So you just called, like, a feeling that people have about their bodies, like, dysphoria is evil, apparently. Like, a feeling that people do not have any control over having is evil. All right. Sounds good.
I'm not afraid to address the dysphoria or the dysfunction. The Lord rebuke you, Satan, and all of your demons and all of your imps will come and parade before us. That's right, I called you demons and imps.
So just to be clear, he said the demons and imps that you parade before us, which means that he is talking about all of the constituents of his state who came in to testify against these increasingly restrictive bills, against these increasingly restrictive laws. Like children who came to this in order to speak for their rights. Children who absolutely should not be forced to go beg for their rights from psycho politicians who believe delusional things. Like, he just called children demons and imps. This is the party that claims to be pro-family and pro-children.
Come and parade before us and pretend that you are part of this world.
Like, literally, he's saying, like, you are not a part of this world. Like, I am going to so dehumanize you. I'm going to call you an alien and say that you are not part of our world. Like, he's just justifying terminating and killing and getting rid of all trans people. Like, the level of dehumanization that they're at. Do I need to, like, slaps the chart? That's what needs to be here. Oh my God, you guys. I don't really want to make it my brand in this way. Like, I think it's actually really sad that I'm even thinking about doing this. But I think the thing that needs to go right here on the wall is a copy of the thing. Hold on. It needs to be, where is it? I should go to the Kinko's, or whatever the fuck they call it nowadays. I should go to the Xerox store and have them make me a nice poster of the 10 stages of genocide. And then I'm gonna put it over here. And then I'll be like when I have to slap it. Cause where is that? Oh, where is that? Dehumanization, stage 4. Those perceived as different are treated with no form of human rights or personal dignity. Calling people cockroaches or calling people vermin. I don't know how much that would cost, but I should do that. I think that that's the perfect thing to go here. It's the perfect thing. Okay, let's finish out this video, see what else this dude has to say. All right.
So I'm saying my righteous indignation is stirred. I am sick and tired of this.
You're sick and tired of this. You're sick and tired. You're sick and tired of this? You're sick and tired of this. I can't say what I'm thinking because it'll be TOS. Okay.
I'm not going to put up with it. You can test me and try to take me on, but I promise you...
Oh, is that a promise? Is that a promise? I know some people will want to take you up on that. Careful what you wish for, bitch.
I'll win every time. Let's all vote up on this bill. Thank you.
Fuck around and find out, bitch. Fuck around and find out, dude. Keep on this. Keep on this. Keep on this and see what's going to happen. It's not going to be good for anybody. Whether you lose your job or whether you lose the ability to be in public without people constantly harassing you, like, you deserve it. Every bad thing that happens to you, you deserve it. And everything that you wish to happen upon us, I hope happens to you. Turn and turn alike. How did these barely conscious geriatric reformists get elected conservatives? Wait. What does that say? Civilization kills? I feel like that sentence fell apart halfway through. Just literally an embodiment of the, are we the baddies? Are we the baddies? Yeah, I have no further commentary on this. Like, if there's, there might be things to respond to from chat, but I think I have run up against my TOS for the day. No worries, Violet. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be here for like a little while longer. We're running close to being done with news for today. There is also a Missouri anti-trans bill hearing that I thought about flicking through because of the fact that my brother lives there. But it, you know, it's gonna be a really long thread if we read through that whole fucking thing. I'm gonna go ship Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and then crash. Do it! Do it. Ran out of clever puns. Yeah. See. Wub. Where are we at for tonight? $24 for tonight's stream. It's not too bad. It's not too bad for a little stream early-ish in the month. It's still early in the month. Yeah, historical Western societies pushed Christianity on native black people, brainwashed them into Christianity, and then they became ultra-religious zealots. Yeah, $45 away from the fun number. Should I make that more... Should I more regularly make the goal for the stream $69? Would that be a bigger incentive? Maybe. There we go. It'll increase the percentage. And then once we hit... Maybe every stream, I'll set it to 69, and then if we hit 69, it's just immediately going to jump up to 420. And that's just, like, forever. Instead of having reasonable $100 donos... Like, here's... I try to make it, like, okay, if I make $100 each stream, that's 3 times a week, then that's like $300 a week, which is totally reasonable for, like, an amount of income, right? Later, Jeffrey. Much love from Australia. I gotta go. It was actually fun managing to catch some time of a stream. Yeah, in Australia, it's like 7 hours ago tomorrow. So, yeah, there's not really gonna be a good time for you guys to watch my streams. Tuesday and Thursday nights, I guess, are the only times that Aussies are gonna hit the streams. It's also autumn in Australia. That's true. I think, and hear me out, we should make it illegal to evoke God's name in a federal building. Call it a preemptive measure to prevent God's name from being used in vain on state property. I think that'd cut back on a lot of this bullshit. That would be nice, except that in a lot of state houses across this country, it still says, "In God We Trust," like, on the building somewhere. It says it on our currency, you know? Whatever happened to separation of church and state. The Red Scare happened to the separation of church and state. It did not stick very long. Like, the separation of church and state, we had it for a while, and then fucking McCarthyism happened. Oh no, you mean we'd have to take that shit down? I know. The statue, like the plaque of the 10 Commandments in your state building? Oh no, we might have to take it down. In many places in the US, it is illegal to hold public office if you don't believe in God. Yeah. Atheists are still one of the most disliked groups in the United States, or like distrusted. I remember, you know, it was a long time ago now. It was like more than 10 years ago now, but there was a survey done, a poll of a lot of Americans, and it was like, who would you trust the least to be the president? Or who would you trust the least to help your daughter out? Or some shit like that, you know, like different, like, trust amounts. And atheists were distrusted more than Muslims. And this is 10 plus years ago, so we're like more and more fresh off of 9/11 back then. More so than Muslims and rapists. Literally, rapists was one of the options on this thing. Atheists are trusted less than rapists. Spiritborn says, Luxander, where is your super chat button in YouTube chat? The bot message just popped up a little minute ago. You see up where Streamlabs posted? Super chats are disabled on my channel because YouTube takes fully 30% of your money. So I direct my my viewers to go directly to my website and donate through there, which is hosted by PayPal. And that way, the only fees that come off of it are PayPal fees, so that, you know, you don't get ripped off by YouTube, like Google. Like, Google is taking 30% of your dono from you when you try to send it to me. So, yes, if you would like to dono, please go to the website. I would really appreciate it. That is very helpful to me in the food buying and the rent affording. Make a 28th Amendment. Thou shalt have no other commandments before me. Yeah, we do literally live in a theocracy. Like, did you not know this? We do literally live in a theocracy. Papal fees? That's it. I'm an atheist now. Oh, you know what? One of my favorite songs is called the Pope Song. Do you know the Pope Song? Does anybody in here know the Pope Song? I can sing you the intro. It's kind of long. Okay, intro to the Pope Song. Are you ready? Fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, he's a fucking motherfucker. Fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, he's a total motherfucker. Fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucker, fucking fuck the motherfucker. Fuck the motherfucker, fuck the motherfucking Pope. And that goes on. It's Tim Minchin. Hello, Halfling Rogue. No, that's Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin is an Australian comedian, music guy, atheist man who makes just the most wonderful music. It's not always funny and religious related. Some of it's sad, but he's good. A Minchin mention. Yes, Tim Minchin. Fuck the motherfucker and fuck you, motherfucker, if you're still a motherfucking papist. If you cover for another motherfucker who's a kitty fucker, fuck you, you're no better than the motherfucking rapist. It just goes on like that. Have you heard The Statue Got Me High? No, I have not. I don't know that one. To be frank, it does sound like it would be a South Park song. Right, it's a little bit edgy. Y'all, Tim Minchin, okay? Listen. Listen. Tim Minchin is a fucking treasure. If you don't know him, I really recommend you become familiar with his work. It's so good. How do you spell his M-I-N-C-H-I-N? Here it's like this, Tim Minchin, like that. He's got a song called Inflatable You that I would recommend. Thank You God is good, but Thank You God, you do have to watch the 10 minutes of stand-up prior to the beginning of the song in order for the song to really make sense. But it is good. It's a fucking banger. Truly. I like Inflatable You. The Pope song is obviously really good. I mean, Storm is classic, right? Storm, the beat poem, it's classic. His thing about confirmation bias was funny. He's just really good. And then he's got some love songs that are a little bit more serious. Storm is good, but I like Mitsubishi Cult better. I know, Mitsubishi Cult is so good. I wish that I could say that my goals to become a good pianist are like at the Tim Minchin level, but he is so good. He's so scary good. Yes. What is the name of that song? Quantum Cactus. I can't remember what it's called. Prejudice! It's called Prejudice. Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. Just so many good ones. Did you have any Easter eggs? No, I didn't go fucking anywhere on Sunday. I stayed home. I didn't end up even having the teenagers this weekend. I had been planning on having the teenagers this weekend, and I just, there was a COVID scare, so I couldn't have them over. I know exactly. Thank you, Drums. You were thinking of the same thing I was thinking of. The musical joke that he, I reckon someday you might be as good as Elton John, and meanwhile he's doing like fucking insane, complicated riff, and then after that line, he switches to playing something more simple that is Elton John style. Like, it's so good. Halfling Rogue, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Enjoy your dicks. Enjoy. Good to have you back. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, God, for fixing the cataracts of Sam's mom. It's so good. He's British Australian as well, so I like his accent. I love sort of mixed accents. Yo, what is the name of the guy who played Moriarty in Sherlock? Yeah, you're the perfect person to ask that. I just realized who I'm asking. Super Dr. Hulak, do you know the name of the actor? Because he has such a cool mixed accent. Spirit, thank you so much for the dono. $25 dono. Thank you for providing an outlet and space to talk, since I don't really have that in life much at all. Yeah. And, you know, if you're not a member of the Discord, if you're on Discord, you're welcome to jump in there. I'm hoping to kind of kick things up and make it a little bit more active in there. If anybody wants to volunteer to be a mod in the Discord to help organize, like, karaoke or movie nights, that would be awesome. But thank you for the dono. And yeah, if you want access to more spaces... Yeah, Andrew Scott, is that his name? He's like Irish/British. He's got like a weird in-betweeny accent. Ouch, frozen dicks. True. Yeah, I think that's who I mean. He's got that line. Is it actually Andrew Scott? Yeah. He's like, I will tear the heart out of you. And it's like a weird Irish kind of thing. I mean, I would love to, but y'all, I am a vampire and it kind of sucks for being personable. It's not just the being personable part, it's the just fucking organizing part. Like, I keep saying I want to do this, but it just needs to be scheduled and I need someone to help facilitate. And like, yeah, the heart. It's back here, it's heart. Late to the party. What's up, Junebug? And it's such like a weirdly emotional line. Moriarty is... Oh my god. I just feel like now is a good moment to plug the Sherlock is Bad video from H Bomber Guy, because it goes in depth. I hate that show so much. The boomerang. Moriarty. Oh, you got me, Quantum. That's good. That's good stuff. The fun in-betweeny accents. They're good. They're good, folks. Wow, we're so close to 100 likes. On a random Tuesday. It's Tuesday, innit? I love that video, even though I love Sherlock. It's so good. H-Bomber Guy is just... He's so good at his job. Tuesday. Tuesday. Philosophy Tube. I don't know why I've picked that up. That particular vocalization. That's for me. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. There's something fun to me about someone so viscerally hating on something so benign. Like, just like the vitriol with which you hate something that doesn't matter. Like, it's a TV show, it literally doesn't matter. Guy in a gorilla suit. Oh, there's a lurker. There's a lurker in here who says $15 dono, nice, which means that must mean that we're at 69. LOL. Nice. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We love the lurkers. Later, Raymond Bell. Good night. Dicks. Indeed. We have fun here. We have a fun time. Oh, goodness. 69 is a good goal. It's a good stream goal. It's good to have you back, Slaps Hungry Bears. I definitely noticed your absence, for sure. So it is good to have you back. Everyone can enjoy when we reach the mutual pleasure number. Truly. There's something for everyone. There's something for everyone in this 69. And I want to, like, let it sit there for a while. If it were earlier in stream, if I weren't sitting there looking at the clock like, when can I justify getting off of here, I would do this. This is the next thing that I would do. It's just like, it's either a relatively low goal or it's almost $500. I want a Lux pinup calendar for 2024. Oh. Well, that's an idea. Oh, for a full 12 months? That's fully like 3 or 4 separate photo shoots in order to have costumes that are different enough. I don't know. That's a really interesting idea, though. I think it would cost a lot of money for me to do. If I were a bigger creator and I had more of the capital up front, that's a really good idea, though. Excuse me. Because, like, you know, I have my Safe for Work Fansly, and this is the kind of stuff that I post on there. Excuse me. I'm burping while I'm talking about like, posting sexy pictures. Like, wow. What a great combo. I'm sure that's someone's kink, but it's not typical, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I tend to post on my Fansly. Like, this is the type of shit that I post on my Fansly. You're not seeing anything that isn't already public, by the way. This is not paid content that you're getting a preview of. That's the free preview content. Silly question, but does joining the Patreon not charge until the 1st of the month? Yes. I think it might charge you initially and then start charging you at the 1st of the month every month. Should I change it? I can't change it back. Patreon keeps recommending that I should switch it to where it charges you when you subscribe, but I haven't changed it yet because then I can't change it back. I joined because PayPal likes to fight with me, but I don't see the first charge. If it doesn't charge you until the first... Well, maybe it doesn't charge you until the 1st of the month. Because that way you don't get charged for, like, a partial month. But then it'll happen. Oh, here's the pic. It's right there. There you go, Slaps Hungry Bears. That's what, like, $5 a month on Fansly will get you pictures like this. Oh, I guess, you know what? Maybe we'll do a little stream only. Like, here's one that I didn't post publicly. This was not a public preview. This was one specifically that you would have to pay for. So you're getting a little preview. No, if you've joined if you've joined Patreon, that's perfect. If you've joined Patreon... Even if you don't give me, even if it doesn't come through until the 1st of the month, like, I love Patreon donos because that means I can budget. Like, I'll know exactly how much money I'm getting each month, you know? So anyway, are you ready for the preview? This is the non-public picture that I'm gonna show you. See, like, the initial photo, the free preview photo is like this. This is the kind of thing that I'll post publicly, but then, like, the actual thirst traps happen behind the paywall. Yeah. So there is just a tease. Can you put a message with PayPal ones, or can it be anon? So if you donate through the website, like, there's 2 different links in the description. There's the website, which will allow you to give a message, and then there's just straight up PayPal, which doesn't have a message, and it doesn't show up on... Well, you mean you can put a message, but it doesn't show up on screen. Join PayPal. I mean, technically you can do a recurring subscription on PayPal as well, but... I don't really do Facebook or Twitter, but that Meta virtual space could be a good place for streams. Absolutely not gonna do Meta, TBH. Honestly, 100% not gonna do Meta. Nice, I'll give you $50 for a calendar. I mean, the tough thing about these kind of photos too is that it's cropped close. It's not like a broad, you know, if I set things up, maybe I should take photos on my bed and just be like, now you can see the full pinup outfit on the bed. Expand the fansly. Do a meta stream, just a stream talking about streams. I'm so meta, even this acronym is... You should muscle tease. Yeah. I'm glad someone caught my reference, Quantum Cactus. Make the date part of the calendar transparent. Solved. No. Oh, well, I guess that's true. I guess it could just be long ways this way and the whole thing down there. I mean, that's a good point. You're taking my request a little too seriously. I mean, it's just an interesting idea. I've never considered making a pinup calendar before. You know, I have a Markiplier nude calendar. So when you said pinup calendar, I was like, oh, I have a frame of reference already for a creator that I know of making a calendar of nudes. Tasteful nudes. And then Markiplier did start an OnlyFans that's tasteful nudes only, and all of the proceeds go to charity. Yeah, I paid $30 for a signed Tasteful Nudes calendar from Markiplier. It used to be on the wall behind me in one of my old places to live. It was and it's from like 2019 or whatever, so it would say like August 2019 behind me, and people were like like, it was really upsetting to people, and I found that very funny. Yeah, it was years ago. Yeah, it was years ago. I love how I, ace to the point of going, nice socks there, Lux, am seriously considering and talking about thirst trap calendars. It was not the right month. I was still flipping the calendar each month. So it would say like August 2019, but it was actually August 2021 or whatever, you know? I had no clue Markiplier did that. Yeah. Are there any photos online of the, like, hold on, Markiplier Tasteful Nudes calendar so that I don't have to go get it? Yeah, I mean, it was basically like this. This is the cover of it, and there's a bunch more in there. And it's all tasteful, like, everything's covered. There's no nudity, and he signed the front. Lux just Googling Markiplier nude. Yeah. So would you smash? You know, so I've recently realized that I'm pretty aggressively demisexual, actually. And I would not smash, probably. Unless I really got to know Mark. And then I wouldn't actually smash, because Markiplier has a girlfriend whom he loves. Chica! Chica, chica, chica. She's good. She's a good girl. What's a good Markiplier video to watch really quick? Not the whole video. I just want to do a little moment. Are any of you familiar with the game? I'm gonna turn this off. Why is it on Spanish subtitles? Are any of you familiar with the game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy? Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy is a game where you play as this guy in a pot with a hammer, and you use the hammer to navigate by, like, pulling yourself around. And the controls are really fucky, and you can see how it's really hard to get around. Like, this is the very first challenge in the game, is to get over this tree. This is the very first challenge of the game, is to try to get over this goddamn tree. And it's a rage game, but it's also like philosophically very interesting. I've always thought that it would be kind of fun to stream Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, specifically because it's called Getting Over It. And it's not just getting over it in the sense that you need to get over the mountain. Like, here, hold on, I need my headphones. There's also all of this weird text and like from Bennett Foddy, the creator of the game, where his voice is in the game a lot. Here.
Okay.
Mark, you're so fucking loud. Mark! Mark! Stop shouting. Thank you.
Okay. Aha! Aha! You can't beat me!
There's no feeling more intense than starting over.
That's Bennett Foddy.
If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much.
He's literally warning you, like, what you're about to go through might be too much if you've already had a bad day. Like, this game is gonna upset you. Like, the whole purpose of it is you have to get over it. Like, get over it. Get over your anger about this game. Like, accept your inevitable failure. And so people get, like, mad at Bennett Foddy and his presence in the game. Like, there is an option to turn off his voice in the game because people get pissed off about it. And then, yeah, toward the end of this video, Mark loses a lot of progress.
No.
The faces that he's making. I guess you can't really see the faces that he's making because he's not full screen, and also my face is on top of his face. So, unfortunately, maybe I'll just turn myself off for a second. Hold on. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where is it? Okay, there it is. Now you can see him.
Where am I going? Oh, okay. You know what? I'm done. No, I'm not done. No, I'm done. No, I swear I was done. Oh my God, I'm done. Oh God, fuck. No, my God. This is why I can't do rage games. This is why I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. I can't do them. I can't do them. I can't. I can't do them. This is why I can't.
So anyway, I've thought that maybe it would be fun for the philosophical aspects to play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy on stream. Lux is topping Mark. True. Remember when everyone was shocked that he was Korean? I remember finding that out like a decade ago. I lived that. He broke the chair too. Classic moment. Or I loved that. He broke the chair too. Classic moment. Yeah, he did. He broke the chair. I'm rooting for Cauldron Man. There's some people who suspect that people call the Cauldron Man Diogenes. Like, I don't think it's his official name, but the people in the community call the main character of the game, they call him Diogenes because it's a game that's sort of philosophically based, and his and he lives in a barrel, basically. Like, Diogenes lived in a barrel, and Cauldron guy lives in a cauldron. Yeah, Mark is one half of Unis Annus. Yeah. I was already a fan of Mark for years before he created Unis Annus with Ethan. And then Unis Annus is a thing that I like a lot. And it's gone now, but I enjoyed it. There's a big fucking Unis Annus poster in this very room. It's just not part of my set decor. It's just for me. Like... Does not look like a game I would play, but I'd absolutely watch a stream of it. I think that it would be better to do Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy with a stream and chat audience as opposed to doing it alone. I think it's much easier to get upset. Like, at the very minimum, if I get really upset, I can pause and, like, talk to you guys for a minute. But I think it would be an experience. There's something at the end of the game that I haven't seen. It's like there's explicit... It requests that you not show the end part on stream. Like, or on your videos. So I have watched Mark reacting to whatever it is that you get to see after the end of the game, but I don't know what it is. And that's the only way I would find out is if I cheated by looking up someone who decided to show it, even though it was specifically requested that they not show it. Or play the, you know, I need to play the game myself. Memento Mori, my friends. I never watched Unis Honest, but from the looks of it, it's pretty big. No. I'm there as long as I'm not at work. I think, yeah, I need to figure out my VODs situation. I'm gonna try to... I'm probably just gonna start uploading the VODs publicly on the main channel. Like 1 week at a time, or something like that. And then, for sure, if I were to do a gaming stream, like Getting Over It with Ben at Foddy, that would 100% be fully live and available on some channel. You cannot watch Unis Honest now. The whole point of Unis Honest was they deleted it after the 1 year. So there are people who have it and who shouldn't have it. But for the most part, there's not... Here's, like, the only relic that is public. Here. Yeah.
You should not try this at home.
Yeah, don't do this.
Don't do this. We can do this because we know what we're doing.
Hey now, don't try it. Hey now, don't try it.
Is that the disclaimer song?
Hey now, don't try it at home. Do 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 do. Hey now, don't try it. Don't you dare try it. You might die if you do this at home. Do 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 do. Here's
I've
the
heard this a few
way to
times.
go. Don't try it. Don't do the thing that we're about to do. Do 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 do. Ooh, don't try this at home or you'll die if you try this thing at home. Do 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 do. Oh, it's a key change. Oh, it's a key change. Oh, it's a
Mark
key
and his
change.
dancing.
Don't try this at home. If you do, you might die. This is our disclaimer to you. Hey, don't be that guy. Just watch us do the thing you want to do. Be safe for me, but be safe for you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Whoever's editing that better be amazing.
Anyway, that was just that's like one of the only remaining pieces of Unis Honest that remains public. We've detected copyrighted content. Is the fucking disclaimer song copyrighted content? You can't be serious. I guess that's copyrighted? Man. Whatever, son of a bitch. Oh well, we're winding down anyway. But still. Yes, Unis Honest is fully gone except for stuff like that. Shit. YouTube is insane with its detection system. It's not like I'm over here playing fucking Frozen. It's not like I'm over here doing Disney, right? This is a stupid, like, bop it's a remixed from a YouTube video. I didn't even know you could copyright shit like that. It's not intentional. I'm not trying to steal shit from anybody. I sent a dono via PayPal and I don't know if I did it right. Let me see. Phone. Trying to see if it came through. Oh, good lord. My notifications just all trying to come in at once. Okay, yes, it came through. It did. Yes, indeed. Why am I a boomer at 20? I know, right? I know, it's pretty stupid. Does Dibney own Markipliers? I know that Mark used to be on the MCN for Disney Makers, but I don't know if he is anymore. I would assume that he's independent now. Like, that's what I would guess. You guys are silly. It's really funny having couples in the chat. We have Halfling Rogue and Slaps Hungry Bears, and then there's, like, Sebastian, and I can't remember the name of Sebastian's partner, but there's, like, a World of Warcraft playing couple that we have. Good night, Willow Oak. It ended up being $10.69, I think is what ended up happening. So it was $10.69. Perfect. Amazing. No, I thought that the 69 cents was intentional. Yeah. You silly beans. So maybe it would be fun to play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. Maybe it would make us tear our hair out. Who knows? I'm done. How is everyone? We're living our best life. I think I'm actually ready to get out of here and make myself some dinner and prepare for all of the shit that I have to do tomorrow. Yay. I have to finish editing a video tonight so that I can make sure it's uploaded tomorrow. Was not intentional. Yeah, no, thank you so much, Super Dr. Hulock. No, I really, seriously, I appreciate it. Like, a $10 dono is very useful to me. Maybe have Doe read theory while playing the game. I would definitely pay for an audiobook series if Doe was reading it. If Doe was reading Kropotkin to me, I would be much more into it. Read Deary, indeed. But yes, thank you all for your donos. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you to the lurkers. And as far as I know, we should be up and ready and running to go for Thursday stream. Thursday! I have to file my taxes tomorrow. Prepping videos tonight, editing after stream, and then doing my taxes and therapy tomorrow. Wow, it's gonna be a great day. Looking forward to it. All right. Be good. Or at least don't get caught. All right.